time for Huntingdon Bearcat football on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Presented by Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223, the heart of the community. And by D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Simone Family Chiropractic at 613 Washington Street in downtown Huntingdon. Penswoods.net, the home of free classified ads. And by Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntingdon. And now, with all the action of tonight's Bearcat football game, here's Statman Chad States and Dave Shannon, live on the Air Network and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
Thank you, Greg Banks. Welcome to Bald Eagle Area High School in Wingate, Pennsylvania. I indeed am Dave Shannon, and the guy to my right is Chad States. Hi, Chad.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
All right. Getting ready for another Bearcat football game and inviting on board tonight a good friend of mine who worked a football game with me at Bellefonte a heck of a lot of years ago. And we didn't know each other from Adam.
Not at all.
And we just kind of showed up in the broadcast booth, and it was instant chemistry.
Absolutely.
Never, although Chad has been an excellent, I think we've had some kind of instant chemistry as the season has gone along. And also, our first chance to do anything together was baseball with a Huntingdon baseball team, which had a heck of a year. But Joe just lives across the way there in Milesburg. And just a little ways up the road. And we've been talking about doing a game together for a long time, and here we are.
Here we are.
Welcome aboard, Joe.
It is my pleasure. And the reason for that chemistry, of course, Dave, is because of you. You're the catalyst of this, and it just seems to be
that's the in-house PA, not us.
Very, very, very easy to work with you.
Well, I appreciate it, Joe. And tonight you're going to get to see an outstanding football team and a 6-0 Huntingdon Bearcats team. Chad and I watched a heck of a game last week, Chad, and I think the team proved a lot last week because you get that sinking feeling when you see Ian Border going off the field in a gator the whole way over to the locker room there at the field. And we're going to run out of time here. It's time for the national anthem. We'll come back and talk more about that, and we'll hear from the coach, too. That's next on the airnetwork.net.
Penswood.net Classifieds offers the freshest, most recent classified ads available with over 1,500 new ads each day. If you're looking for a reliable used vehicle, check out the multiple ads daily on Penswood.net Classifieds. From cars, trucks, RVs, and motorcycles, you can scan the ads at Penswood.net at any time of the day or night and find something that fits your needs. Looking for household items, student housing, or even a new pet? Penswood.net Classifieds has it. Penswood.net, where you can buy, sell, or trade locally.
D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman & Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, and they've got loads of activities in October. The Moose proudly presents the Huntingdon Halloween Parade on Monday, October 23rd in downtown Huntingdon. Come on down with the entire family and enjoy the evening. Also in October, you can enjoy our Friday food specials beginning at 5 p.m. Then on Saturday, October 14th, it's Reboot from 8 to 11 p.m. There's always something happening at the Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223. So join us today.
Sometimes facts are hard to face. Statistics show that obesity is a problem in the United States, and it's not getting any better. At Simone Family Chiropractic, we understand this problem. We also know that obesity leads to very serious health problems later in life. There is a way to cleanse your body and get back to optimum health. It is called the Doctor-Supervised ChiroThin System, and it teaches you how and what to eat in the real world. Call us at Simone Family Chiropractic at 814-643-2616, or stop in and see us at 613 Washington Street in Huntingdon, across from All American Pizza, or find us on Facebook.
Hi, this is Andrew Hootie. You're listening to the Huntingdon Bearcats on the airnetwork.net.
Here with the head coach of the Huntingdon Bearcats. That, of course, is Michael Hootie. And, Coach, I thought last week, I know we like to get into what's going on this week, but I thought last week was a big game for this team, and it showed its resiliency in the fact that, and I think maybe incorrectly at times, but people look at your team and they see Ian Border and they think that's everything in the team, and you proved, and your team proved last week that that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be well-rounded. If you're going to be a championship team, these guys want that. The key in football is to take what the defense is giving you, and some teams can do that and some can't. And, we did it. So we came from behind. So as the season goes on, as things progress, you experience more things and you grow with them.
And one of the things, actually, there are two guys that I want to credit for last week that I thought stepped up when Border did go out of the game for a period of time. And that would be Andrew Hootie and Drew Weglars. I think both of them stepped up in a big way to continue to keep that team on top last week.
Well, that's what we're hoping, that, we're building a well-rounded, multifaceted team that can take advantage of. It's more than just being one-dimensional.
Yeah, no doubt. And those guys proved that last week, I thought, in a big way. Well, let's move on. This week it's the Bald Eagles of Bald Eagle area. And the Eagles right now at 3-3, but a team that certainly has the ability to put up some numbers as they did earlier in the season. So that's one of those that I think this one kind of turns a little bit on your defense to make sure they hold these guys in check.
Well, we've challenged the defense. We know that Bald Eagle's a good football team. We don't look at, like I said, we don't look at comparisons or anything like that. This is just week 7. I think it's week 7, right?
Yes, it is.
It's just the 7th block in the 10-block foundation.
Well, talking about your defense, of course, we've talked about a couple of the guys over the course of these pregame interviews. And overall, the team continues to excel and make good plays. One thing about Border, he's a both sides of the ball guy. And I didn't notice a difference defensively last week either when he was out of the game. Once again, a testimony to what you said, young guys stepping up.
We have some depth there. We've got some good players, young players, and we'll use them. So,
linebackers always a big part of it, and also your deep coverage. And when you got a guy as fast as Price, and last week we also we saw some great defense that kind of after Juniata got off to a really good start. Price was able to step up his game, and Jarris Warner also.
Yep. Like I said, same thing. We pride ourselves in being multifaceted and having the ability to utilize all our players. So, I mean, I don't want everyone thinking, it's just a one-man team. It's not.
Yeah, there's 11 guys out there on every play, and they're giving it their all, and it doesn't matter what 11 guys, because last week to me was the next man up mentality, and you guys did that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's try to make it number 7 in the blocks of foundation for this season when we hopefully walk out of here with a defeat of Bald Eagle. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right. We'll be back with the start of tonight's game after this on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM Huntingdon.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of ensured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing, available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon.
All-American Pizza and Subs in downtown Huntingdon at 612 Washington Street is the home of the new Bearcat Sub. Enjoy mozzarella cheese with bacon, crispy chicken, sour cream and chive fries, and our top-selling wing flavor, Mactown Gold, all wrapped on a fresh homemade roll. Try the Bearcat plus our many other great pizzas and subs at All-American Pizza and Subs. Don't forget their new Pepsi flavor shots, too. All-American Pizza and Subs will donate $1 for every pizza sold during October, with proceeds going toward breast cancer research. Call 6 643-0222 for delivery. Open till 9, closed Mondays.
Sometimes facts are hard to face. Statistics show that obesity is a problem in the United States, and it's not getting any better. At Simone Family Chiropractic, we understand this problem. We also know that obesity leads to very serious health problems later in life. There is a way to cleanse your body and get back to optimum health. It is called the Doctor-Supervised Chirothin System, and it teaches you how and what to eat in the real world. Call us at Simone Family Chiropractic at 814-643-2616, or stop in and see us at 613 Washington Street in Huntingdon, across from All American Pizza, or find us on Facebook.
Penswood.net Classifieds offers the freshest, most recent classified ads available with over 1,500 new ads each day. If you're looking for a reliable used vehicle, check out the multiple ads daily on Penswood.net Classifieds. From cars, trucks, RVs, and motorcycles, you can scan the ads at Penswood.net at any time of the day or night and find something that fits your needs. Looking for household items, student housing, or even a new pet? Penswood.net Classifieds has it. Penswood.net, where you can buy, sell, or trade locally.
Hi, I'm Andrew Finkel. You're listening to the Huntingdon Bearcats on the airnetwork.net.
Yeah, yes, the dear young Mr. Finkel. That's little Myron Cope has to slip into every broadcast. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Shannon, along with Chad States and Joe Pillett. Joe Pillett is the alum in the booth, but for the Bald Eagle area Eagles. He kind of made his lips move during the alma mater, and we don't know if he had the words for sure or not.
Can't tell.
It was a good fake.
What you need
but
to
I
do,
do know the words.
You need to do what they do on TV, and you just hold this up here and keep your lips moving. You can't see that on radio, folks, but I'm holding up my notes here in front of my mouth, and that's the way they do it these days. Chad was, we're all over here having fun, and Chad's all business. We had the coin toss. What do we got?
Looks like Bald Eagle's going to receive to open up the first half here. So I don't know if Huntington deferred, but that's my guess, is Huntington deferred to the second half. So Bald Eagle's going to get the ball to start this ball game, which is good. I honestly think it's, Huntington going to put their defense out here first, see what Bald Eagle throws. They're going to run a similar offense to what Huntington does. They like to spread the ball out. Running back's tough. He's got some speed. They are a pass-first offense, so we'll see Huntington's secondary tested right off the bat here, Dave. But as we saw last week, go ahead, dare you. Let's see what you get.
That was so good to see, Chad.
Yeah.
And like Coach and I talked about there in the pregame show, if you're going to be a championship caliber team, it's got to be your defense. You can have all the flashy offense and great results that you want. Defense is going to win you
right,
a
and
title.
I'm going to follow up with exactly what I said here in my prep story for Week 5. Defense wins championships according to most who follow the game, and that's exactly right. And this defense is fast on track to make that happen. Dave, the numbers that they put up through the first 6 games of the season are very, very impressive, and they are looking, I'm telling you, I've talked to some of these kids tonight, they are looking to add to that total this evening.
So we'll see if they can. I think they will. And as I say, this defense, you're talking about that, Chad, and here we are in the postseason in baseball. And the defense wins championships always reminds me of the good pitching stops good hitting.
Yes.
And that is a fact, and it does work every time it's tried. As a matter of fact, just ask the New York Yankees last night.
Not today, though.
When Trevor Bauer just threw a heck of a game. He looked so commanding in that game.
It was 3-3 against Kluber today, so we'll see what's going on with that.
All right. Well, the Houston Astros off to a good start. The National League baseball playoffs get underway tonight. As first you have the Cubs and Nationals, and that'll be followed by Dodgers D-backs later. Yankees 6, Indians 3. Yeah.
And as a Red Sox fan, stands here beside you guys.
Yes.
This is not easy for me.
It's actually kind of painful.
Very.
Joe roots for Baltimore. I root for Huntington. I root for the Yankees. He roots for. We do have a commonality. We'll talk about that later, and it's a good one. But
it's a very good
one.
All right, Gio Scaccia has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, and he'll be kicking this away to someone who's not on my roster. Number 31, which I don't have.
Well, that's the
32,
Dorman.
Yes,
Blake Roberts.
That's the Steve Dorman jersey.
All right. Ball taken at the 7-yard line. Over the 10, the 15, the 20, 25, 30. Turns the corner at the 35 and is knocked out of bounds right in front of us on the near sideline. at about the 42-yard line. What a return.
That's a good return at that time and knocked out by Drew Weglars. But sometimes you can out-kit your coverage, and I think that's exactly what happened there, Joe.
Yeah, and also was that McClanahan that ran that football?
Yes, I think it was.
And he does have a good quick first step, and he was able to shoot that hole and get himself some running room there.
So Gage McClanahan with a big return as he gets out to the 43-yard line. So he ends up with about 36 yards on the return, and that's a great way to start the football game for Bald Eagle area. Puts the Huntingdon defense to work. And your quarterback, that's Jaden Jones. He hands the ball off, a modified jet sweep carry, and it goes for nothing as that Huntingdon defense once again is able to swarm around Gage McClanahan trying the right side of the line.
That's Andrew Finkel coming up from the strong safety position to limit him to a 1-yard gain.
So a gain of 1 and a 2nd down and 9.
As you alluded to, Dave McClanahan does have some speed. He is the fast back. He's the one that Bald Eagle is going to try and get the ball into. He's got, I think, 400 and some yards rushing on the season.
All right, ready to go. Jaden Jones, the quarterback, standing at his 40 in the shotgun. Pitches it back. It hits the turf, but it bounces up nicely. Taken by Matthew Reese. Reese over the 45, out to about the 47-yard line, perhaps. No, they'll mark him down at the 46. So that'll be a gain of a couple to set up a 3rd down and 7.
And this is where the Huntingdon defense has really shown through all year long, Dave. As I look down through my notes, they're limiting opponents to 28% conversion rate on 3rd down. So it's tough sledding whenever you get to the 3rd down against the Bearcats.
Here we are. It's a big 3rd down. 3rd down and 7 for Bald Eagle area. They're at their own 46-yard line. Bearcats trying to shut down their first drive of the night. And handoff goes to the back, coming up through the middle. He's going to be down short of 1st down yardage. Was that Weglars in again on a tackle?
It was Drew Weglars in on a tackle.
Drew Weglars, what a performance by him last week, both defensively and offensively, as he was able to he popped in there when Ian Border went down, and what a heck of a job by him. And Andrew Hootie. I don't want to sell Andrew short.
School record, 251 yards passing last week.
Excellent job. Bald Eagle area forced to punt with a 4th down and 3. And it's a fake punt, and they reverse it. It's out over the 40, 35, and it is Jarris Warner with a touchdown-saving tackle as he brings down Gage McClanahan. McClanahan has been the source of a majority of the offense so far for the Bald Eagle area Eagles, but big surprise there.
Well, a lot of nice ball fake in the backfield.
Excellent.
And everyone was going right side, except for McClanahan. He was coming this side.
Yes, he was coming left. He was headed for the left coast. First down and 10, Bald Eagle area football. They are at the 30-yard line of the Bearcats. Opening drive of the game. 9:21 left to go in the first quarter. Quarterback Jaden Jones pitches back. It's McClanahan again trying the right side, tries to turn it. Great pursuit by the Bearcats to drive him out of bounds once again.
Yeah, Alex Mikan and Drew Weglars coming up on the tackles. Huntingdon can run sideline to sideline with their running back or with their linebackers in their defensive end. So it's going to be really tough for Bald Eagle to get to that outside unless they throw some trickery like they did on 4th down.
Yeah, the interesting thing here, too, though, we're working with sophomore quarterback and sophomore McClanahan.
Yeah, it says a lot of good things about what's coming in the future for Bald Eagle area. Just a gain of 1 on the carry and a 2nd down and 9. This starts out the same way the drive started out back at the 43-yard line, just a 1-yard gain. It looked like it was going to be a 3-and-out until some trickeration came onto the field. There's a jet sweep fake, and boy, nice job. Jaden Jones, the quarterback, faked that. And the defense of the Bearcats they were in on him in a hurry, and I think Ben Briggs involved there.
Ben Briggs and Landon Fisher both crashing line. Talking to Ben before the game, he said, I need to have a big game tonight for us to really make an impact on defense. And you're seeing it right there on a tackle for loss for about 3 yards on the play.
And absolutely not fooled one bit.
No.
They closed the hole quickly.
Yes, they did. Great job out there by Briggs, who comes in with 26 total tackles on the season for the Bearcats. It ends up being a loss of about 4 to set up, I'm going to call it, they're going to do 3rd and 12 on the scoreboard. I'm here to do the Huntingdon game. It's 3rd and 13. So that's the way that goes. Snap in the shotgun. Jones passes to the near sideline, and it's complete to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry with the reception, and he goes out of bounds. I think
he's a yard short.
Yeah, they're gonna mark him out just about a yard short. He needs to get to just beyond the 20, and he is just beyond the 21 right now. And with this 4th down, they're gonna go for it.
I actually don't know how he got that pass in there. 22. Zook had that thing covered very tightly.
4th down and 1. 7.5 left to go. First quarter. No score in the football game from Wingate and Bald Eagle Area High School. Quarterback Jaden Jones rolls to his right, lets it go. They have a 1st down. And what a job by Jonathan Price. He got a waist lock on Matthew Reese, the wide receiver that caught that pass, and eventually pulls Reese out of bounds. Or was that, I heard the PA say Wagner. Was Jacob Wagner? Or was it Price?
That looked like Price to me on the far sideline. So it's a 9-yard pickup, another 1st down. We're seeing something similar as what we saw last week from Juniata is coming right down the field on this first drive, Dave.
Another sophomore involved in a big play for Bald Eagle Area at that time in Matthew Reese. And the handoff goes up the middle, and the Bearcats are able to stop the ball carrier after a couple-yard gain. Blake Roberts, the ball carrier.
Trying to figure out who has the Dorman number, and Joe, you might be able to explain what that Dorman number actually means to the Bald Eagle Area football program.
Well, in essence, Steve Dorman was an excellent athlete who excelled here at Bald Eagle Area. And his life was tragically cut short in a traffic accident. And it is that who wears that jersey is someone who has worked very hard, and coaches have decided we're very deserving of honoring him, and they've been doing this quite some time now. They've been honoring Steve Dorman, and it's a sense of pride to wear that number 31.
And in this case, it was Blake Roberts carrying the ball once again as he gets down to the 5-yard line. He's about short 4, long 3 away from 1st down yardage.
Yeah, and they're 2-down territory anyway. They've proved that they've gone for it every time since they've been here, so they're going to continue to do that.
3rd down, and as I say, short 4, long 3, depending on how you want to look at it. Jaden Jones continues in the shotgun for Bald Eagle Area. And he is flanked by Roberts to his left. Handoff goes to Roberts, and he goes nowhere. As a matter of fact, he may have lost a yard on that play.
I think he did. Yep, he did. He lost 1 yard on that one.
So if you go with my 3rd and 4, it's 4th and 5 now, and it looks like it's going to be Charlotte Harris coming in to attempt the...
Charlie Harris.
Yeah, Charlotte,
the
female kicker.
The homecoming queen.
Homecoming queen. Absolutely. On top of it. 5'5" senior, $120, and she's out there to try to put Bald Eagle into the lead. No score in the game.
I'm sorry, Miss Bald Eagle, not the homecoming queen.
Okay, Miss Bald Eagle.
I stand corrected.
Well, there could be repercussions from that mistake, Mr. Pillett.
Especially on homecoming evening.
We're looking at a 24-yard field goal attempt here.
Spot is down. The kick is up, and it's blocked. Was that Price with the block?
Jonathan Price with the block.
You got to be kidding me.
Nope, Jonathan Price with the block.
5'8", 145-pound Jonathan Price is the guy that blocks the field goal attempt from Charlotte Harris. It is no good. Bearcats take over on the missed field goal attempt with 5:08 left to go. We ran a lot of time off the clock there, Chuck.
Oh, absolutely. And we saw Juniata do the same thing. Now, Huntingdon has a quick strike ability, so they can go one play and 80 yards just like that. So time doesn't necessarily mean anything, but a great job by that defense coming up big in the red zone to get another stop here and just add to that stat total. That's the 3rd block kick for Huntingdon on the year.
And they also got to see a lot of the offense right there in all that.
Yeah, you got to see the trickeration and just the regular stuff to boot. Man in motion, Jacob Wagner, and it goes to him. Was that a Wildcat snap or was that the
that was
jet
jet sweep? That was the jet sweep.
Jet sweep to the left side, and Jake gets out over the 20-yard line to about the 22.
Yep.
Yep, 22-yard line. So he picks up 5 on the play to set up a 2nd down and 5. Good way to start.
And we normally don't see Wagner in that role. It's normally Price with the jet sweep right off of the bat. But, Huntingdon, again, proves that they've got a lot of different players that they can use in a lot of different ways out here, including splitting sophomore Andrew Miller out here to the right.
2nd down and 5. Hootie in the shotgun. Ian Border to his left. To his right, make that. And the pass, it's a screen pass to Border. He gets out over the 25 and is brought down shy of 1st down yardage. Seemed to be moving okay. As we talked to Coach Hootie, that didn't make it to the pregame show, but it was just a minor sprain was how he referred to the injury. And that's good to hear. He's such an integral part. He's not the entire offense. We don't want to mislead you with that. He's just a very integral part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw him writhing in pain on the ground last week, so we were concerned, but bounced back, and here he is this week.
And he is back this time to the left side of Andrew Hootie in the shotgun. Quick pass by Hootie, and the pass is complete to Jonathan Price, but the defense of the Bald Eagle area Eagles right on top of that, and it's going to be a no-gainer as the ball is marked down at the 22, so a pass for no yards.
Yeah, and what you saw there was actually a missed block. Ryder Kosick had the cornerback locked up out there on the left side, but he got through him and was able to just go through Price and make the tackle for no gain.
Andrew Hootie to punt. Gets it away. It's a good kick. Sails over the midfield stripe, and it hits the guy that was back to receive the punt at about the 42-yard line and bounced right off of him. Of course, that's a live ball at that point. It does appear, though, that Bald Eagle area was able to recover the loose ball on the turf here at Bald Eagle Area High School.
Yep, that appears to be the case.
Yep, and it was bounced off of Gage McClanahan and recovered by Gage McClanahan.
Yeah, it bounced off Gage, and then it bounced off a Huntington pursuer, and then I think back off Gage again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the Huntingdon coverage team, not really, you never expect it, but you got to be ready for it. And left to go here in the first quarter, and we are in a scoreless tie. Bald Eagle area featuring a turf field, and they are dressed tonight in their navy tops with gold numbers on the front and back, and they also have the gold pants. Man in motion, and the ball goes to Matthew Reese. Reese turns the left corner, gets out over the 42 to about the 45-yard line, so it's going to be a gain of about 5, so make it 6 as I see the line judge going out to the 46-yard line and putting it down. It'll be a 2nd down and 4.
And this young Bald Eagle team is doing a good job of blocking that up, Dave. As Reese is coming across, you're seeing hats on hats out here as far as the offensive line and the receivers go to block up to get them that good yardage.
That seems to be what has been their downfall in the fourth quarter. They've been able to do that and maintain that throughout. And then toward the fourth quarter recently in the past 3 games, that's been the the downfall.
All right. It is a 2nd down and 5 with 2:51 left to go in the first quarter. So Bald Eagle area moving from right to left. Handoff. And the ball is carried over midfield into Huntingdon territory, and taken out of bounds is Blake Roberts at about the 44-yard line of the Bearcats. And Bald Eagle area, just like Chad said, this is somewhat reminiscent of that Juniata game last week, except there are zeros on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Roberts now 5 carries for 20 yards, and I don't think he was really even too much of a thought as far as the rushing offense goes for Bald Eagle area all year long, but he's proven tonight that not only is he wearing the Dorman number, but he's proven out tonight why he is wearing the Dorman number. He's having a heck of a game here and a heck of a start right off the bat.
Roberts, 56 yards on the season coming in.
He's got 20 already.
Yeah. I think he will be exceeding his season total after this action is over. Delayed handoff this time once again to Roberts, and Roberts will gain maybe a yard. Let's see where they put it. By the way, God bless America, there's hash marks on this football field. See, we don't have these, Joe, in Huntingdon.
No.
This fancy schmancy hash mark stuff.
Nice. Hey, this is quite a facility here.
Yes.
It is.
It is quite a facility.
Yeah, tip of the cap to the Eagles. I used to do Bald Eagle area high school football games on a local radio station in the area. Joe and I teamed up for those. we did kind of a game of the week format. Joe and I did basketball together, and we have a story coming up for you about the one night and what happened here with Joe's son. We'll tell you about that in a second. Jaden Jones with the handoff and squirting through the line and getting about 4 to 5 yards that time. I'll tell you what, Gage McClanahan is a very, very shifty little runner out there, and he has the speed to go with it.
And the center of this Bearcat defense is going to have to clamp up because Gage took on 2 tacklers there and then squirted through them for another 4 yards. So this is going to set up a 3rd and short.
But they were doing more of the stand up and arm tackle instead of going down and grabbing the runner.
Well, you just hate to see that.
That's
you know, that low tackling works every time it's tried. Every stinking time. 3rd down and about 4 yards to go with 52 seconds left here in the first quarter and no score in the football game. Here's the pass. It is complete to Reese. Reese will have first down yardage and more. Down over the 25 and knocked out of bounds just past the 20 at about the 17-yard line.
Well, Dave, we're quickly seeing why Coach Hootie had a little butterflies before this game as Bald Eagles coming out and just moving the ball right down this vaunted Huntingdon defense.
And they're mixing up their plays, to a certain degree, where they're really not predictable here.
No, definitely not. A lot of trickeration.
By
Bald Eagle area.
Yes. Huntington will make the adjustments.
Nicholas Turner comes in for the Eagles as we have a first down and 10 with the ball at the 17-yard line. Down to 42 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Once again, no score in the game. And it's a quick handoff once again to Blake Roberts, and Roberts is taken down immediately. One of the Bearcats in there, Ryan Corey. And Ryan's been a stalwart for sure, Chad, on this defense.
He's the leading tackler for the Bearcats this year, and he's just as good a linebacker from sideline to sideline as what you're going to find in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was there and brought him down in a hurry as Corey has 56 on the season as far as tackles. That was coming into the game. Obviously, he has more now. I'll give him a gain of 1, I guess, and make it 2nd down and 9. This is the way. It seems as though every time the Eagles get a first down, this is the way it goes. And as a matter of fact, the way it goes now is we're off to a commercial break. We have 1 quarter in the books at Bald Eagle Area High School in Wingate, PA, and the score, Bearcats nothing, Eagles nothing. Back with more right after this on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman & Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, and they've got loads of activities in October. The Moose proudly presents the Huntingdon Halloween Parade on Monday, October 23rd in downtown Huntingdon. Come on down with the entire family and enjoy the evening. Also in October, you can enjoy our Friday food specials beginning at 5 p.m. Then on Saturday, October 14th, it's Reboot from 8 to 11 p.m. There's always something happening at the Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223. So join us today.
This is Ian Board. You're listening to Bearcat Football on the airnetwork.net.
Welcome back to Bald Eagle Area High School. Dave Shannon, Joe Pillett, Chad States here to bring you tonight's game between the Bearcats and the Bald Eagle Area Eagles. No score after 1 quarter of play, but Bald Eagle Area on the move once again, as it is a 2nd down and 9 at the 16-yard line of the Bearcats. 2 possessions. Bald Eagle has the yardage, but no points so far. And this is a keep this time, rolling to his right and letting a pass go is Jaden Jones, and the pass falls incomplete as we had some good defense out there by the Bearcats. Cale Gardner, the intended receiver.
Yeah, and Cale Gardner is one of their leading receivers coming in that time, but it's hard to pick up where the ball is and the way these guys are moving, Joe. That you had said it, that it's the same. It looks like it's the same play, but it's something different every time.
Yeah, they just seem to be mixing that up. That time there was a lot of pursuit coming through where the he hurried to pass to Gardner, and it did fall short.
So the pass goes incomplete, sets up a 3rd down and 9. This has been a real sticking point so far. The Bearcats have given up a lot of 3rd down and long first downs. They're not going to this time. They're going to sack Jaden Jones back at about the 23-yard line. And who do we have on that sack? Was that Alex Mike?
No, that was Draven Zook, number
Draven
22,
Zook.
coming clean out of his linebacker position. So
it's good to see Zook back out there because he had a boot on last week.
Yes.
And Zook was the player that put the pressure on the previous play.
So Draven Zook, all healthy. And obviously that's a dead indication as to how healthy he is. It's up a 4th down and Port Matilda. Well, not quite that much. It's just 4th and 16.
It's not 4th and Bigler, Dave. That's
It's
for sure.
4th and Sheets.
Yes.
4th and the Wingate Sheets.
Just beyond the light.
Jaden Jones back to pass, and he's going to be sacked again on 4th down, and the Bearcats are going to start off in really great field position out around the 29, make it the 28-yard line.
And it's a kid that I talked to right before the game and said, hey, I've got to have a big game tonight. I think I can get another sack, and that was Big Ben Briggs coming off of the side from the sidelines there, or from the defensive end position to make that sack and make that 4th down stop.
And I would say a few adjustments have been made.
Yes.
Yes. And when Chad says Big Ben Briggs is 6'3", 200, so it's an apropos big reference for the young man. Ben Briggs with a sack, and the ball goes over to the Bearcats 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Make that the 27. And there goes Price in motion. The ball is handed off to Border. Border turns it up at the 30, and he's rolled down at about the 32-yard line. So nice fake there that time as you had Price in motion. But Bald Eagle up to the task. They reacted quickly there, Chad. You could see Border had the ball, and they came over and got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, and they're going to swarm to him. But he has the ability to be able to break through tackles too, Dave, as we have seen. So I think get ready for a good, steady dive. That's Ian's first carry of the game, and we're already, 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. So hats off to Butler area with a good ball-controlled offense.
We're going to call this a 2nd down and 6 after the game by Border. Border is going to get the handoff again. He gets out over the 35, brought down at about the 36, about a yard short of 1st down yardage. And it will bring up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, and again, I still think that the ball is going to remain in Border's hands probably this whole entire series as you look at it, Dave. It's time for them just to go to their bread and butter and let the big boy run.
And he can do that. One of the things you'll see in him, Joe, is if he gets beyond the linebackers, the next gear.
Well, I just saw right there he needed 1 step. If he just would have had one more step beyond that pursuit.
Handoff goes to Border. He has the 1st down and more as he gets out over the 40. They'll mark him down at the 41. Needed 2. And he got 4, make it 5 out to the 41.
And he has the power and the ability to be able to carry people, too. He's not just a fast running back. He's also a running back that's able to lower the shoulders and just bulldoze through people.
He's a powerful runner.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's amazing about the guy just across that mountain over there that wears blue and white is his leg strength is just unstinking believable. I've never seen a guy be able to press the kind of weight and lift the kind of weight that he does in the weight room.
How about that?
Man in motion is Wagner. Hootie takes the snap, rolls to his right quickly, releases to Wagner. He's hitting, the ball pops out. I think that's an incomplete pass, and indeed it is. Wagner had it for about a half step before the defender came up and really wrapped him and knocked the ball out.
And it's the right pass to make as Wagner was open in the flat. If he's able to turn that, he's good to go. But a great job by the Bald Eagle defense to come up and just hit him right in the midsection and pop that ball free.
I believe that was the senior Derrick Henry, and he came out of nowhere and timed that just perfectly.
Wow. Well, I guess they've done their homework, they being the Bald Eagle area Eagles, because they sniffed that play out really well.
They're athletic.
Yes, they are. 9:21 left to go. First half. No score in the football game. Andrew Hootie on the keep. Gets out over the 45. I thought he was off to the races. He does get out to about the 49-yard line before he's brought down.
Nice 8-yard pickup that time, and that was a quarterback draw the whole way. You saw Andrew take the snap and just tuck it and run. So an 8-yard pickup to bring up a 3rd and short here. I would look for another run out of Border here, Dave. I just, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, like I say, it looks like they've made their adjustments and going back to what you had said earlier, Chad. You're just going back to the game plan. You get back with what they know, what they do.
Don't walk away from what doesn't work.
That's right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
3rd down and 3. Man in motion, Wagner, going from right to left. Instead, the pass goes to Price. He's got first down yardage and more. 40, 35, 30, 20. Cuts back to the middle of the field. He's gone. Touchdown.
And just like that.
Jonathan Price, and as Chad said before, that quick strike offense of the Bearcats. And Jonathan Price, to his credit, as he caught about a 4 or 5 yard pass and turned it into a touchdown.
And that's what this team can do. I mean, you just never know. And that's why Bode Glory has to take risks tonight. That's why they have to go forward on 4th down. That's why they have to play a clean ball game, because Huntingdon has that ability, whereas Bode Glory doesn't have that yet.
Right, at any given play. And at about the 19-yard line, that little head and shoulders fake right there, and the cutback, and he was gone. There was no one to catch him.
Yeah, if he'd have kept going straight down the sideline, he would have been tackled short of the end zone for sure, but he made that cutback at the exact...
That was a beautiful cut.
The exact time he needed to. Gio Scotch is in. You're going to enjoy watching this young man kick, Joe, a high school kicker. This guy really, every once in a while, he'll pull one to the left. I mean, it's just textbook kicking. Gio Scotch right down the pipe to make it a 7-0 Bearcat lead.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore, former soccer player that really came onto the scene this year. Beat out a senior for the job, and you can see why. It's pretty evident as to how good he really is.
So we have all these sophomores around the school districts. Again, it looks like the future's bright.
Yeah, you got to love that. Got to love it. By the way, thanks to all the dedicated Bearcat broadcast boosters bringing you Bearcat football every week on the Air Network and 94.1 FM, Community FM in Huntingdon. Thanks to the Huntingdon Moose Family Center, 223, the heart of the community, D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family. Also, Simone Chiropractic and Weight Loss Center in downtown Huntingdon, Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntingdon, All-American Pizza and Subs in downtown Huntingdon. Send me a cheesesteak.
How about it?
Anyway, and Penswoods.net, which, by the way, has been renamed, and we'll let you know about that as time goes on. But Penswoods.net, and, of course, the new iteration of that, the bottom line is the home of free classified ads.
Before we get to this kickoff, Joe had asked me before the game, he said, hey, do you happen to know a guy, if you live in Huntingdon, do you happen to know a guy by the name of Kevin Hallahan? And I said, Kevin's been my next-door neighbor for 15 years, and he's been a dear friend to Joe for much longer than that. So not knowing Joe from Adam, we have a commonality right then and there, and a great one at that. So, Kevin, if you're out there listening, we know you're up in New York and unable to attend tonight's game that you love so much. Good luck to you up there, bud.
Yes, what a great commonality.
Absolutely.
Gio Scotch has it teed up at the 40. Bearcats up 7-0. Here's the kick. He gets a little more distance on this one over toward the sideline and fielded by Ben Yetzko. Yetzko's out over the 10, the 15, the 20, turns it upfield, 25, and is going to be brought down at about the 28-yard line. Ben Yetzko with, Derrick Henry. I was one number short.
That's okay. That's
one number long, depending on how you want to look at it. Who brought him down, Chad?
I didn't see who brought him down, in all honesty, because I'm trying to follow something else. But what I wanted to point out with Gio is, Dave, for the most part of this year, we've seen a lot of line drive kicks out of Gio, some even scooting across the ground. Tonight, we've seen him kick the ball deep, as that's his second kick for over 50 yards this evening. So he does have that ability, and my guess is coaching is telling him what to do.
And he had a nice carry on that, because he was within an inch or two of stepping out of bounds after fielding that ball.
By the way, I'm going to take credit for that, because I'm the guy that's been talking about Gio's kickoffs. That's me.
And
that's
you should take credit for that.
All right.
That is you.
Jones hands the ball off, and no, he kept the ball. Quarterback keep.
Yeah, he did.
And he's going to be brought down.
I don't know if
he
kept it on purpose.
Yeah, and he's regretting every minute that he continued to keep that ball.
He's going to be dropped.
He loses a yard.
Yeah, by Isaiah Reed, another sophomore, and a very big sophomore for this Huntingdon football team, as he's a center, but has stepped out here and done a really, really nice job for the Bearcats on the defensive line as well.
Like I say, these defensive adjustments are really starting to show up, because that counter play that they were running up the middle there, it's not working.
7:37 left to go in the first half. Bearcats up by 7-0 score. Pitch back to Matthew Reese. And Reese is going to be brought down about at the line of scrimmage. As Chad indicated earlier, you're not going to be able to stretch this Bearcat defense out along the lines. You might be able to do that with some teams, but this team is quick.
Yeah, they run sideline to sideline as well as I've seen anybody do in a long, long time. And it's not just the linebackers. The safeties have the ability, and the defensive linemen are fast, too. I mean, Ben Briggs is a big kid. He has the ability to run sideline to sideline and track you down. Same with Landon Fisher, the whole group. It's a very speedy, active group.
And defensive early read.
Yes.
They pick up the read.
It's going to be a third down. They actually gave him a yard on that, so it's 3rd down and 10 as they move the down marker right to the original line of scrimmage. Oh, my, he almost lost the football to Jaden Jones, but he manages to keep it and goes down for another loss of about 2 yards. It's going to be a 4th down and 12. And for as efficient as Bald Eagle area looked in their first couple of possessions, suddenly that Bearcat defense caught on to the game.
It's the same thing that we saw last week, too. The first 2 possessions, Juniata did the same thing. The difference was
they scored.
We were down 14-0. Now it's a 7-0 lead, but Draven's looking with his second sack of the evening tonight on Jones. And they thought there would be opportunities. The defensive linemen and linebackers thought there'd be opportunities to be able to get to Jones.
There were 6 Bearcats in the backfield that time. 6.
And the punt is away from Jaden Jones, and it's taken at about the 35-yard line by Price. He's up over the 40, the 45. The fans here on the Bald Eagles side are screaming for a flag.
And they should be. It was definitely a block in the back by Jarris Warner. There is no question about that. The referee must have been looking the other way, but the definite block in the back that they missed.
As it turns out, Price gets about 11 yards on the return out over the 45 to the 46.
Nostra Davis at his best. That's an 11-yard punt return for Mr. Price.
And I don't want to jinx this, but there has not been a flag thrown yet.
Oh, well pointed out. We will probably have 8 before the half is over now.
Like I say, that one there should have been, but it wasn't.
5:55 left to go in the first half. And Hootie hands off to Border. Border's going to get about 5, maybe just 4, out to midfield. Let's see where they put him. Yeah, they're going to put him down at midfield. So it's a gain of 4 and a 2nd down and 6. But Ian Border, it seems, Chad, even though, everything indicates that he's back and he's, normal, there's been a bit of an easing into the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he's running in between the tackles tonight. But, credit to the Bald Eagle defense who's filling those holes as soon as he's stepping into it. So not a lot of running room out there for Ian.
2nd down and 6. Hootie in the shotgun as he usually is. Wagner in motion. Handoff goes to Ian Border. Border once again gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It could be a loss of 1, but I don't think.
I'm going to count that as a 0 loss. But good penetration again that time by Bald Eagle area as they're able to just get in there and make sure the Border's not getting those extra yards, not getting to that linebacker, that second level like he's used to doing.
And at a certain point in the game, Chad, you kind of got to say, okay, we're not going to do it up the middle. Let's do the around the end zone.
Well, something I have noticed here, though, when he is able to use the pass fake, he freezes that middle linebacker, and that's where they were getting that extra yardage up the middle.
Hootie back to pass. Lets it go down the sideline, and incomplete pass intended for Ryder Kosick.
Yep, looks like Ryder Kosick, and it hit him right square in the middle of the chest.
Yeah,
a beautiful pass that time by Andrew Hootie.
Right in the numbers.
Could not have thrown that ball any better than what he did. And a drop pass will bring up a 4th down for the Bearcats here at midfield.
Kosick, the junior, and of course, one of those things when you're not always an active part of the offense, that was like, oh my God, I could score a touchdown.
He had a step, though. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And a punt coming up off the foot of Andrew Hootie, a dandy. And it's taken at about the 13-yard line, 1 missed tackle, and then a trip just enough to bring down the returner, in this case, Derrick Henry. So Henry gets out to about the 16-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. An offensive series that maybe didn't go the way Huntingdon wanted to, but it seems as though they're gathering information as it goes along.
Yeah, and this game is moving fast, Dave. As I look, it's already 4:22 left to go in the second quarter, and it's 7:35. So this is a fast-moving football game here this evening.
And, that was excellent punt coverage there.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And we've seen that, Joe, throughout the whole season, that the Bearcat special teams, while we talk a lot about the offensive defense, They've got a punt return for a touchdown on the season. They've got a kickoff return for a touchdown. They've had great coverage, and Hootie's averaging 41 yards per punt, couple that with what Scotch is doing. So Huntington's getting it done in three phases of the game.
Juniata Valley 13, Claysburg Kimmel 7 late in the first quarter, and Mount Union leading Everett 35-0 in the second quarter. And here's a quarterback keep, and once again, I don't know if the other guys that were out there to receive the pitch from quarterback Jaden Jones weren't on the same page in the playbook as him. It looked like I want to get rid of this.
The only one that was on the same playbook as him was Ryan Corey, who dropped him for a 3-yard loss that time. So good job by the linebacker there as he ran clean right into him.
And so that brings up a 2nd down and 12 after a loss of 2 that time on the unintentional quarterback keep by Jones.
Yeah, he went to pitch the football, and there was no one there.
Help. Somebody help. No one was ready to take a pitch. Clock rolling at 3:38. Snap to Jones and a quick handoff. No, he hangs on to the football, rolls to his left. Screen pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Andrew Dubbs.
So all that stuff, Dave, that we were watching Bald Eagle have great success on through the first 2 drives, to Joe's point, is all dried up now. And now it looks like it's going to be tough sledding throughout the rest of the game for this Eagles offense.
Yeah, it's just on that first drive or two, it just looked as though that Huntington was making adjustments. You could just see it. They were just trying to see exactly what they had to offer, what Bald Eagle was going to bring to them, and then they were making those adjustments, and they have.
But you can see
that was a very dangerous.
There's a lot of promise in this young Eagle team.
Absolutely,
a lot of promise.
Absolutely.
In 2 years, this is going to be a monster of a team to deal with.
Pass incompletion stopped the clock at 3:29. Bearcats 7, Bald Eagle area 0. We're in the second quarter. Snap goes to Jones. Jones back to pass. Completes it over the middle, and he is met immediately.
Ryan Corey and Alex Mikett made sure that pass didn't go anywhere.
Pass was completed to McClanahan, but not much Gage could do with that.
And it didn't.
It did not.
It did not.
And it's a loss of about 5 to set up a 4th down and 17. So what Joe and Chad were just outlining for you is really coming to play here, as what we saw out of the Eagles and the Bearcat defense. Things have changed.
They have changed.
And I'll tell you what, I think where that point was, where that switch was flipped, was the back-to-back sacks down here for the Bearcats.
Back-to-back.
Yeah. Price takes the football at the 27, goes toward the right, cuts back to the right again, and gets down over the 25-yard line. They'll mark him out right at the 25. So a nice return that time for Jonathan Price. He's trying to be more and more creative, and we could bring up our do a little dance line, but
he seems to have great vision.
He does. He keeps his head up. He's a basketball player, and he's a point guard for the basketball team, and he uses those skills out here on the football field. Dave and I saw that firsthand when he was guarding Juniata's tight end Ben Lauver last week, and just jumping at the right opportune time to tip the ball away. So sometimes being a one-sport athlete, it doesn't benefit you as much as being a three-sport athlete. And you see a lot of one-sport athletes this time of year.
By the way, guys, thanks for hanging me out to dry, not finishing that. Andrew Hootie over the right side, right tackle, gets down to about the 30-yard line. And this is something we saw last week, Chad, with Andrew Hootie, and I referred to him. He had a McSorley kind of game.
Yeah, he did.
If you're a Penn State fan and you watch Trace McSorley, I thought that's the way he looked, especially when he needed to, when Border went out of the game.
He ran for 71, threw for 251, and accounted for 4 touchdowns. Can't have much of a better game than that.
That's a pretty nice football game.
Hootie in the shotgun, as he normally is, and right behind him, it's Ian Border. And the handoff goes to Border. He's down over the 30, and is...
It was a heck of a fake.
It was a fake.
Oh, it was a fake, and I bought it.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
I bought it coming at me 100 miles an hour.
So Hootie hung you out to dry that time as opposed to Joe.
Well,
and
he's
I.
allowed to. You guys, I don't expect that. Come on.
Come on.
Yeah. Minute 55 left to go in the first half. A 7-0 Bearcat lead. 3rd down and 5 with the ball at the 20-yard line of the Bald Eagle area Eagles.
And I would think this is 2-down territory for Huntington here, too. I think they're going to want to try to punch it in, knowing what they're doing on defense against Bald Eagle right now.
3rd down and 5. This time, Border to the left of Hootie. Hootie's going to keep the ball. And, boy, you talk about being in somebody's playbook and then being in somebody's kitchen. there were 4 bald eagle area eagles on Andrew Hootie after he took a step and a half.
I actually think it may have been a broken play. Chad, what do you think?
Yeah, I possibly, because it looked like he tucked that ball. He unexpectedly tucked that ball in and was met immediately. So I don't think we're going to see a field goal attempt here. At least I'd be surprised if we do. It looks like it could be. What are we looking at here? If we take it 22, 32, that's 30. That's almost a 39-yard field goal attempt.
Yes.
And they're bringing in Gio. I see him out here, so
I want to see it.
I do too.
Well, actually, it'd be around 40.
It's going to be close. We'll see where they put it at.
It'll be around 40. Now, one of the things that Coach Hootie said to me last week in the pregame show, it never made it to the air, was about the fact that Scott can hit him from 55.
Well, right. And the good thing is about at least a field goal like this is they're only going to lose 2 yards, or actually they'll gain 2 yards. If he misses it, the ball will go back to the 20-yard line. So in high school,
read that second one.
In high school, you can take these risks.
Okay, before Scott kicks, Mr. Pillett.
Thanks to all the dedicated Bearcat broadcast boosters who bring you Bearcat football every week on the Air Network at 94.1 FM. Thanks to Huntington Moose Family Center, 223. The heart of the community, D.C. Goodman and Sons, and the Goodman family. Also,
Simone
Chiropractic and Weight Loss Center in downtown Huntington.
Here's the kick by Scotcha. It's up. It's got the distance, and it's good.
40 yards.
Gio Scotcha from 40 yards out makes it a 10-0 Bearcat lead.
That is a weapon, folks.
You betcha.
He is 4 for 4 now on the season, and when you're able to hit him from 40 yards as a sophomore,
in high school,
you've got a weepon, and that's a big deal moving through the playoffs, guys. Not a lot of people are going to have something like that, and now you've just given somebody else something to think about.
And I've given him the ability to get deeper kickoffs.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Finish up your read there, Joe.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Dave. But I am so glad I got to see that. That was absolutely wonderful. And then we are with, let's see here, the dedicated Bearcat boosters. Also, Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntington. All-American Pizza and Subs in downtown Huntington. And Penswoods.net, the home of free classified ads. So thanks again for supporting Bearcat broadcasts on the Air Network at 94.1 FM in Huntington.
I think the Panthers of Pitt play tomorrow. You'll be able to hear that here on the airnetwork.net, and that's last week's promo, so don't read that one, Joe. They already beat Rice. As a matter of fact, they kind of drubbed them into the grass at Heinz Field last week.
One stat I don't have is who has the longest field goal in Bearcat history. But what I can't tell you is who holds the record for the most field goals in Bearcat history in a single season, and that being Andrew Hallahan. His senior year was 7 of them.
Is that right?
So Gio has 4 of them right now, and on the heels, so to speak, of Andrew for the year.
Gio has it teed up at the 40, approaches the football and lets her fly. Another line drive. That's going to hit it about the 2 and go into the end zone and out over the back line. And that is good simply because I think the coaches have been working with him on this line drive idea of a kickoff. He can kick it pretty. The problem is when he kicks it pretty, he doesn't exactly get the kind of distance that you want on a kickoff. And what he's doing now, as the weeks have gone on here, Joe, we've seen him, he elevates it a little bit more. The idea is to get it up high enough so those guys in the back can't make a return. He did that to a T that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, what a weapon to have for this Bearcat football team.
Well, absolutely. That's pretty and pretty far.
Yes. Minute 41. 10-0 Bearcat lead. Sack again. And this time, flying in to make the sack is Draven Zook.
And that is his 3rd sack of the evening.
Well, I'll tell you what, talk about a kid that has an agenda.
Yes, absolutely. He can fly. I mean, he is a very, very fast, active linebacker. And you've seen that tonight. That's his 3rd sack.
And the Bearcats seeing here that they've got the ability to kind of shut down the Eagles with 1:33 left to go in the first half. Call a timeout.
Deep in that territory.
Yeah, and I think the idea is you get good field position if you continue to hold them here. And the Eagles have not shown much in the way of offense since back in the first quarter, being able to move the ball at all. So a good timeout, I thought, there.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. They have to try to regroup and try to figure out what Huntington is doing because Bald Eagle area is going backwards on the stat sheet, which is somewhere you don't want to go. Now, I will say this. They're holding their own defensively, though, against Huntingdon. They've only held – Huntingdon has, and I'll just do a quick total here as to how many yards Huntingdon has on offense, but it's only 87 yards through 2 quarters, and usually, Dave, we see that in the first 4 plays for Huntingdon sometimes.
Yep.
So a good defensive effort out of both squads tonight, and you can see it's only a 10-0 score with 1:33 to go in the second quarter.
And with 2nd down and 15, once again in the shotgun, it is Jones. Jones back to pass, and the pass is incomplete, thrown just a skosh too tall for his intended receiver, and he was met that time by Finkel, and he's not getting up very quickly.
No, but you can see the good sportsmanship out there on the field as
Nick Turner was the intended receiver.
Yeah, and Ryan Corey and Andrew Finkel both looking over him to make sure he's all right, giving him a hand to get up. So you'd like to see that.
Extending the hand to help him off the turf.
And that's a great thing you see in high school sports, Joe, is that type of stuff being displayed. You just don't see that everywhere else.
Absolutely.
And that's what the game's about. We got to remember that this is just a game, and sometimes it gets taken to another level. But, folks, at the end of the day, they're playing a game.
This is going to make Mike Hootie look like a wizard here, because with that passing completion, it stops the clock at 1:29 and brings up a 3rd down and 15, and just one more stop for the Bearcats, and there's one timeout remaining for the Bearcats, and they would inherit pretty good field position if they can stop them here. Handoff this time goes to Blake Roberts. Roberts will get out over the 20-yard line and be brought down at about the 21, well short of 1st down yardage, needing to get through the 30. So it is a 4th down, and we're going to call it 9 because we like the Bearcats.
And I believe another timeout's been called.
Yep. And as we had talked about...
the great clock management here by Mike Hootie.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, Dave, as far as 3rd down conversions by opponents, Bald Eagle area is 1 for 8 right now on 3rd downs in this ballgame. So, it's what this Huntingdon defense is able to bring to the table is go ahead and give it your best shot. We're going to take it, and then we're going to shut you down the rest of the way. And that's what we've been seeing here.
By the way, don't forget to join us Monday night at 7 as we discuss local, regional, and national sports on Monday Night Sports Talk. Good to have you back there on Monday.
Yeah.
Glad you were there.
Yeah. Credit to my wife for that one.
You can be a part of the conversation by calling the studio lines. We'll give you the number when the show is on. It's Monday Night Sports Talk, Monday at 7. Live on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
And Dave, I believe you were talking about the Pitt broadcast. That'll be Syracuse this week, and I believe on the air about 11:30.
Yep, that's our pregame activity. 11:30 tomorrow with the pregame between Pitt and Syracuse. The Big Orange.
Clearfield leading Tyrone 21-0. If you're trying to keep track of district seedings and rankings and all that other stuff, Clearfield up on Tyrone.
And here's the punt off the foot of Jaden Jones. Well over midfield, over the shoulder catch at the 44 of the Bearcats by Price. Now, and taken out about the 35. I'll tell you what.
Joe, impressions. I just want to know, we talk about this guy all the time. I want to know what your impressions are on that punt return.
Well, first of all, it was amazing because it was good punt coverage from Bald Eagle. They had 3 guys right there on him. Like I say, that once again, 2 steps and he was gone.
It's a 24-yard punt return for Price on that. And catching it over Willie Mays style.
His head. I was going to say, over his shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah, that one went a little bit deeper, I think, than Jonathan had intended, but talk about adjusting.
Beautiful punt.
And sets up Huntingdon in great position here to be able to try to punch one in or get more points.
Yep, right before the half.
Mark him out at the 34, handoff. And actually, that was Hootie on the keep as he picks up about 4 yards, down to about the 31, maybe 3.
They have to hurry up here and...
No, they marked him down at the 30. It is a gain of 4 and a 2nd down and 6. Clock rolling, 50 seconds. 10-0 Bearcats lead. Hootie in the shotgun takes a look at the play list on his left arm. Has the play, takes the snap. Quick handoff, border. Down over the 15 and eventually, the 25, and it's brought down right around the 20-yard line. The Bearcats picking up a 1st down on the march toward the Bald Eagle area end zone here.
And believe it or not, I think what prevented that touchdown was the referee because he ran into his back and slowed him down.
Yeah, that was just power football.
Yep.
37 seconds left to go, and now the clock rolls after they get the sticks planted, and a timeout is signaled. Thought the Bearcats were out of timeouts.
Well, if they are and they called one,
Yeah, that's a penalty.
it would be our first penalty of the evening.
Shh. Shush your mouth there, Mr. States.
So I'm not sure what that.
Knocking on wood. Good idea.
Well, I'm
John.
not sure what that was all about, but they're going to.
I guess maybe they didn't set the sticks exactly.
Maybe that's it.
They were in a hurry and didn't get everything settled the way they wanted it to. So here we go. Clock rolling. 29 seconds. Quick pass over to Price on the left side. Cuts it back. And now turns it up at the 25. Gets down over the 20, the 15, the 10. Out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Jonathan Price caught it on the near sideline right in front of us and ended up going out of bounds at about the 3-yard line on the opposite side of the field. And I know the coaches in the booth for the Bearcats weren't exactly thrilled with that move.
Well, and here's the problem. Bald Eagle has made a commitment to stop Border. Okay, now what are you going to do?
That was what are you doing? Nice run.
17 seconds left to go. Border is into the end zone for a touchdown. And Border comes through for the Bearcats right before the end of the first half. What great clock management and execution by the Bearcats to get another 6 up and take a 16-0 lead.
And just what the doctor ordered and the way the defense is playing, this is going to be a really tough for Bald Eagle area to dig out of, considering they're going to have to kick to Huntingdon to start the second half.
Well, Huntingdon, they've taken over the football game. I mean,
no doubt. Scotch's point after attempt is up, and it is good.
All the way to the band.
Yes.
And it makes it 17-0 in favor of the Bearcats here with just 12 seconds left to go in the first half. But I'll tell you what, you got to really hand it to the coaches and the players for the adjustments they made, because Bald Eagle area came out with a good game plan at the beginning of this game and seemed to be having their way with the Bearcats, and all of a sudden this Bearcat defense stiffened up.
They just closed the door.
Yeah, and things weren't as readily available to the Bald Eagle area Eagles as they were in the first couple of possessions.
They just methodically made the adjustment, took
offensively as well. Also made some nice adjustments offensively.
I feel bad for an opposing defense, because really, what are you going to concentrate on? Huntingdon has the ability to get that ball out in the flat, and Jonathan Price is just as good with yak yards after catch, as I've seen out of a high school football player in a long time. So, all right, we'll put 2 defensive backs on him, we'll shut him down. Well, then you're just going to hand the ball back off the Border.
That's right.
You've got Wagner on the outside. You've got Hootie who can run the football. So, good luck to an opposing defense. You're going to shut down one facet of this offense. You're going to have to deal with the other one, and the other one can be just as significant.
As we get set for what should be the final kickoff of the first half, Gio Scotch has it teed up at the 40. Coming up at halftime, we'll be showcasing Huntingdon Meals on Wheels and the volunteers that have been working there, and they've been around for over 40 years. Yikes. And I'll tell you what, a lot of folks really depend on those Meals on Wheels deliveries. Now, here's your typical end-over-end spinning kickoff, taken at the 10, out over the 5, or the 15, that is, the 20, turning it upfield at the 30, at the 35-yard line, finally knocked out of bounds. That was Tommy Snyder on the return.
Yeah, and the
sophomore,
another
sophomore.
If there's been one thing that I've seen that Huntingdon hasn't done well, it's kickoff coverage. This is a little bit untypical for the Bearcats, as they usually don't let kick returners get this deep onto the field, as you're seeing right now. But that's the only thing if we're going to nitpick here tonight.
A game of adjustments, and the Bearcats have been able to make better ones and overall better decisions. I'm still marveling at the clock management and what they did there with a minute.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Under 2 minutes left to go to be able to get the ball in for a touchdown. Well done. 4 seconds left, last play of the first half, no doubt. Jaden Jones back to pass. Lets it go toward the near sideline. Almost intercepted by Price. And that'll do it as the clock runs out. As I said, just one more play left. And it ends up a good one for the Bearcats. And anytime Jonathan Price is around the football, it's generally a good thing for the Bearcats.
And it's fun to watch.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
We have completed one half of football here at Bald Eagle Area High School. And the score, Bearcats 17 and Bald Eagle Area nothing. We'll be back and we'll find out more about the Huntingdon Meals on Wheels program and their volunteers. That's going to come up next as part of halftime here on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of ensured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing, available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon.
All-American Pizza and Subs in downtown Huntingdon at 612 Washington Street is the home of the new Bearcat Sub. Enjoy mozzarella cheese with bacon, crispy chicken, sour cream and chive fries, and our top-selling wing flavor, Mactown Gold, all wrapped on a fresh homemade roll. Try the Bearcat plus our many other great pizzas and subs at All-American Pizza and Subs. Don't forget their new Pepsi flavor shot, too. All-American Pizza and Subs will donate $1 for every pizza sold during October, with proceeds going toward breast cancer research. Call 643-0222 for delivery. Open till 9, closed Mondays.
Sometimes facts are hard to face. Statistics show that obesity is a problem in the United States, and it's not getting any better. At Simone Family Chiropractic, we understand this problem. We also know that obesity leads to very serious health problems later in life. There is a way to cleanse your body and get back to optimum health. It is called the Doctor-Supervised ChiroThin System, and it teaches you how and what to eat in the real world. Call us at Simone Family Chiropractic at 814-643-2616, or stop in and see us at
.net class. New ads each day. If you're looking for a reliable used vehicle, check out the multiple ads daily on Pennswood.classifieds. From cars, trucks, RVs, and motorcycles, you can scan the ads at Pennswood.net at any time of the day or night and find something that fits your needs. Looking for household items, student housing, or even a new pet? Pennswood.net Classifieds has it. Pennswood.net, where you can buy, sell, or trade locally.
Hi, this is Coach Hootie. The Huntingdon Bearcats are on the airnetwork.net.
And stay tuned to the airnetwork.net as we get ready to continue our halftime activity, as we wanted to let you know that we have the halftime show coming up here, and we're going to talk about Meals on Wheels, trying to get that one ready for you here right now, as well, we've certainly had our little bit of a problem here with some of the, apparently that format that file was sent to me in is not in agreement with what this particular device does, so we're unable to get that for you at this particular point in time. We're going to take one more look, and yeah, for whatever reason, we're going to try to play this for you out of a different device here and see if this will go for you. As halftime rolls on, of course, the 17-0 Bearcats lead. We'll talk about what is going on as far as the football game goes. Chad has his stats totaled up, and we'll talk about that coming up after.
Hi, it's Greg Banks in the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM studios. It's halftime of the Huntingdon Bald Eagle area game as the Bearcats are on the road tonight looking for 7-0 this season. Dave Shannon, along with Chad States, will have more action for you coming up right after the halftime show, where tonight we want to highlight some very special people in the Huntingdon area. Some folks who have been working with the Huntingdon Meals on Wheels for over 40 years now. You may not know of them, you might have heard of them, but unless it really impacts your life, you don't know exactly what the Meals on Wheels is all about. I will tell you this, that it's privately funded by folks like you and I, and of course they have no government affiliation. And for about 45 years now, God love them, Darla and Jay White have been working vigorously to feed people who really need to be fed, maybe after a hospital stay or perhaps staying at rehab. And so we had a chance to talk with Darla and Jay recently about, of course, their service to the community and exactly what Meals on Wheels is all about. And we had a nice chat with them just recently, and this is what they had to say.
Well, the funding comes from our clients, which we charge $2 a day, and then we have individuals who gives us donations, businesses and organizations also support us. So we do not get any government support at all. And we, in order to be able to receive these meals, you have to be unable to provide a meal for yourself or to get a meal for yourself due to the fact you've just come home from the hospital or rehab, or you're using a walker to get around and can't, handle the cooking safely.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be able to, or you have to live in the area that we already have delivery services. If you qualify with those two things, then we can set you up. Now, we go as far as Alexandria, and then we go, that's, of course, west, and then east to Mill Creek. We go as far north to McLavy's Fort and south to McConnellstown.
Wow.
What else could I tell you?
Well, yeah, you can tell us a little bit. I do appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Greg Banks Show. Your name is Darla White. And what's your husband's name? He helps you out?
Jay.
Okay, Jay White. I want everybody to know who you are because you do a fantastic job. And it's obviously a great service. And again, we reiterate, they go as far north as McAlevy's Fort, south to McConnellstown. We go west to Alexandria, and we're heading towards Mill Creek east. So keep that in mind. How do they get in touch with you, Darla? And you guys are pretty busy Monday through Friday just getting those meals prepared. God love you. You're doing a fantastic job. Tell us a little bit about, well, how you got this thing started, how long it's been going on.
This has been going on for about 40 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get it started. My husband and I have been involved with it for 17 years, I believe. And we, I guess that we got started in 1971.
Wow, that's about 46 years ago or so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of volunteers. We have over 100 volunteers to make this work.
Wow.
There is nobody who gets paid.
Mm-hmm.
We are all volunteers. It goes from the board members to the cooks to the kitchen helpers to drivers and our substitute list for drivers and the cooking or the kitchen help. So it does take a lot of people to get this to run.
And I imagine after all these years, it runs rather smoothly, but you could probably always use a volunteer or two. Is that correct?
Oh, that's right, yes. We're always looking for volunteers to either work in the kitchen or to drive or to be on our substitute list, because when we have a regular person that works every Monday, or we don't ask them to work the whole week. They just work one day a week, and that is depending on what you're doing. If you're a driver, it may only take you 45 minutes out of that day to do that meal. If you're a kitchen worker, you would probably be in the kitchen from 8 o'clock in the morning till maybe 11:15. So we have a different cooking personnel on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and the same way with the drivers. We do not expect a person to take their whole day and put into this.
And I tell you what, it takes a lot of coordination. Meals on Wheels, talking with Darla White, by the way, of Meals on Wheels with her husband, Jay, who have been active in this for many years here on the Greg Banks Show on the airnetwork.net and Community FM 94.1. Let me ask you this, Miss White. If you can tell us a little bit about how that works Monday through Friday. I mean, you're preparing, you're in a kitchen. I mean, you're getting all this help, but it probably takes a lot of people to get the food out the door. You have to package that and then, of course, transport it.
Yes. Of course, it starts back with our buyers. We have our bulk buyer who buys from U.S. Foods. And then we have two buyers who buys locally. They take a month at a time, and they buy the produce that we can't get, that we have to get every week.
Mm-hmm.
We package of course, we have to go in around 8 to start cooking and preparing it. The meal would consist of a hot meal, and then another meal, which is just a sandwich and fruit or a sandwich and dessert. So they have to get it cooked and then put it into the containers, and also put the light meal, the sandwich and the dessert, into another container, put those in insulated bags so that the carriers can carry them out and deliver them in hot weather or cold weather to keep them safe. And it takes a lot, and yes, it takes a lot of time, but also it's well worth it, because when you see that person that opens the door and receives that meal,
right,
that's the whole thing. It makes it worthwhile.
Well, you know, Mrs. White, I got to believe, as you touched the hearts of many people in Huntingdon County, specifically in that Huntingdon area, it may be the only person they see all day when your volunteers show up with that hearty meal.
That's right. A lot of times we are the only person, and that's why it's so important that we do find them at home. And a lot of times it isn't the meal that's important. It's that communication, or just knowing somebody has been there to check on them and somebody they can talk to. We often are asked, will you feed my cat while you're here? Or can you get that can off of the top shelf?
Yeah.
So they really enjoy that personal touch.
It's the airnetwork.net, 94.1 FM. It's halftime of the Bald Eagle area game on this Friday night, as Bearcats are taking on Bald Eagle area in game number 7, and they're undefeated. Hopefully they come out victor. Meanwhile, real winners in Huntingdon include Darla and Jay White, some of the volunteers who make the Huntingdon Meals on Wheels happen. You may not know, but they've been operating since 1971 in the Huntingdon area. And, of course, it's always delightful to talk to people from the community about special needs and, of course, how they can help out. Now, you can volunteer as well, as Darla continued to tell us a little bit about the Huntingdon Meals on Wheels and how you can get involved.
44 N Drive, that's INN Drive in Huntingdon, 16652.
Right.
If you want to help out or have any questions, call this number, which is 643. I'm sorry, I should probably say 814-643-0796. That's at our house, because we do work, you might say, around the clock.
Yeah.
Because we don't have people in the kitchen all the time. And if we're not here, we have an answer machine. Just put the message there and we will get back to them.
Oh, that is so fantastic. And this is all voluntary work, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the folks that we're talking to today, Mrs. White, Darla White, and her husband, Jay, very instrumental in this. And I know that you really thank all your volunteers, because it sounds like you have an army there, Mrs. White. I mean, like, you got to have an army of people.
It takes an awful lot in order to make this happen. And we do appreciate all of the helpers that we get, and they enjoy it too. The ones who come to cook, they make sure once they get there and get things cooking, they sit down with a cup of coffee and maybe bring in some cookies themselves, and they chit-chat with each other. And our drivers, a lot of times, come in early. If they are there at 10:30 or need to be there at 10:30, they may come in at 10 o'clock, and they sit around the table and talk different things and just enjoy each other's time.
Well, I am certainly happy to note that, service work and, of course, helping your neighbors is not dead, like some of us have suspected. There are some great people like the Whites and, of course, all the folks who help out for Meals on Wheels. Again, reiterating, no public funding. This is private donations. You can help out. We'll pass along all that information from time to time here on the airnetwork.net with Greg Banks. Mrs. White, anything else that we need to really stress about Meals on Wheels? We've got numbers now on how they can reach out to you. If somebody comes home from the hospital, do they just call your number at 643-0796 and say, I could use a meal or a little fellowship as your drivers are out and about?
Yes, that's what they need to do. And I always ask the two questions, where do they live? so we know if they live in the area that we can deliver to, and what's the reason that they need the meals. It isn't because they don't have money to buy, because we do not ask for their financial information.
Right.
So if they just call us, we can, get them started.
Again, we thank the Whites, Darla and Jay White, just a few of the folks instrumental in making the Huntingdon Meals on Wheels happen throughout the week. And, of course, if you'd like to get involved, we'll have that number for you again throughout our rebroadcast. It is halftime at the Bald Eagle area Huntingdon game, and we'll get back to what's happening on the field tonight as the Bearcats look to win game number 7 here on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM. We'll be back with more action with Dave Shannon and Chad States coming up.
D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman and Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
Pennswood.net Classifieds offers the freshest, most recent classified ads available with over 1,500 new ads each day. If you're looking for a reliable used vehicle, check out the multiple ads daily on Pennswood.net Classifieds. From cars, trucks, RVs, and motorcycles, you can scan the ads at Pennswood.net at any time of the day or night and find something that fits your needs. Looking for household items, student housing, or even a new pet? Pennswood.net Classifieds has it. Pennswood.net, where you can buy, sell, or trade locally.
Sometimes facts are hard to face. Statistics show that obesity is a problem in the United States, and it's not getting any better. At Simone Family Chiropractic, we understand this problem. We also know that obesity leads to very serious health problems later in life. There is a way to cleanse your body and get back to optimum health. It is called the Doctor-Supervised ChiroThin System, and it teaches you how and what to eat in the real world. Call us at Simone Family Chiropractic at 814-643-2616, or stop in and see us at 613 Washington Street in Huntingdon, across from All American Pizza, or find us on Facebook.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, and they've got loads of activities in October. The Moose proudly presents the Huntingdon Halloween Parade on Monday, October 23rd in downtown Huntingdon. Come on down with the entire family and enjoy the evening. Also in October, you can enjoy our Friday food specials beginning at 5 p.m. Then on Saturday, October 14th, it's Reboot from 8 to 11 p.m. There's always something happening at the Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223. So join us today.
I'm Owen Kaufman. You're listening to Huntingdon Bearcats on the airnetwork.net.
And so you are. And we appreciate you being out there listening to us here on the airnetwork.net. Dave Shannon and Chad States, we're together every week, and we got this extra special guest here, ESP. Joe Billett has dropped by. Joe and I did high school football games on the radio years ago, and I must say it's probably like we never were apart.
How about it? What a pleasure to be reunited again.
Yeah.
Thank you again for inviting me.
And we're grateful to have you here. Tell us about
working with Chad. I mean, come on, this is spectacular.
Chad's top of the line.
Absolutely.
Tell us what happened there in the first half statistically.
I will tell you what happened.
All right.
Right now we're at a 17-0 halftime lead for the Bearcats, and surprisingly, the Bearcats made all those adjustments in that first half after the Eagles had, they put together quite a nice little game plan, but then they were just shut down. But surprisingly, in the first down department, both Bald Eagle area and the Huntingdon Bearcats are at 4 first downs in that first half. And then your rushing yards, and that yards rushing, Huntingdon with 51 yards. 44 for Bald Eagle area. Net yards passing, now that's a little bit more lopsided there. That's 70 yards for the Bearcats and 37 for the Eagles.
Thank you, Jonathan Price.
How about it? Yeah, absolutely. Now, total number of plays, Bald Eagles run more plays. They've run 29, but the Bearcats have run 20. And the total offense is 121 yards for the Bearcats and 81 yards for Bald Eagle area.
And you wouldn't think that with a 17-0 score.
No, you wouldn't.
But what that does say, Chad brought this up the other week. He called it the bend, don't break defense. A lot of people refer to it that way. Give up a lot of yards between the 20s and don't let anything happen after the red zone. I don't know that I totally characterize Huntingdon as that team, but there are times when they play the game that way.
Well, it was very significant of that because that certainly did look as though that's what they were doing. And I sort of got a feel for that very early, that they looked as though they were just trying to see what was going to be thrown at them. And Coach had mentioned that. He said you take what the defense gives you, and he was making those comparisons early in the pregame interview, and look what he came up with there. So very nicely done. As far as the individuals go, Border had 7 carries, 29 yards, and the touchdown. And the
Andrew
Hootie, yes, Hootie. I'm sorry, I was shaded there. Hootie had 4 carries for 16 yards, and Wagner with a carry for 6 yards. On the Bald Eagle side, McClanahan has 4 carries for 28 yards. Roberts, wearing the number 31 tonight, has 7 carries at 28 yards. Reese is he's one carry, 1 yard. Yep. 1 for 1 right there. Look like a baseball. Couple of walks and a sacrifice fly.
That's it.
Double to the gap there. It was 1 for 1. And Jones 6 carries for 20 minus 20 yards. So I mean that's your story right there. I mean that's what has happened with those adjustments. Hootie is 4 attempts passing,
4 completions, 7 attempts for 70 yards and 1 touchdown.
That's what I'm trying to say.
There you go.
Thank you. Jones same way with
4 for 8 for 37.
On that one for 37. So Price, your leading receiver there with 67 yards on 3 catches and a TD. And Border has a catch for 3 yards. Also, Reese has 2 catches with 30 yards. And Henry's one completion there for 12 yards, and McClanahan's on a -5 on a catch.
Yeah, and a couple other things.
I hate that when you catch a pass and it's minus.
Well, it happens, but a couple other things I want to point out in that first half is, obviously we give first half statistics, and they're all they are all offensive minded. But one thing to point out here, a couple things to point out. Huntingdon has 4 sacks in the first half. Draven has 3 of them. They've also got 4 other tackles for loss.
Oh, nice.
So that's 8 plays where Bald Eagle area has been in negative yardage throughout the first half. And if I look at the third down conversion, Bald Eagle area is 1 of 8 on third downs. So, to say that, at the beginning and even in my article when I said defense wins championships, guys, defense is what makes the difference between good teams and great teams. And that's exactly what we saw here tonight. It was just a takeoff from last week, is a great, solid defensive effort out of this Bearcat football team.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll see what the second half brings here as the teams complete their warm-ups. Now, we did mention that it was a homecoming game here at Bald Eagle area. They took care of all the homecoming ceremonies before the kickoff tonight. Both bands got to perform for us, and so we got to see both the Bearcat band and, of course, the Eagle band here at Bald Eagle area. And as I said years ago, I don't know if the eagle breeding project's working so well because I've only seen 1 eagle.
Well, have you ever brought the Eagles here themselves? Like the band, the Eagles with Bald Eagle area, and these being the Eagles, and up the road you've got the Lock Haven Bald Eagles at the university. It's just a whole Eagle area.
Conglomeration of eagles.
Can we play the Hotel California here and just be done with it and be good and rolling through?
Well, we are at Alumni Stadium on homecoming evening.
And Joe, I was here last week for my son's junior high soccer game, and of course I've been here through the years, but just an absolutely gorgeous facility. When you talk about doing upgrades and doing them the right way, Bald Eagle area clearly has done that here. So hats off to the district and to everybody here that's been involved.
A lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of donations.
Yes.
And
want to point out, Doug Dyke, the athletic director here, said that this facility that we are standing in right now will be gone at the end of the season.
That's right.
They're building an all-new press box. And I just said, just make sure you don't put too many posts in here and don't put a big post down at the corner so you can see what's going on down at the end of the field.
Well, it is the one thing that did not change. But in retrospect to that, it's not bad. I mean, we've got.
Oh, no, this is a fine press box.
We've got room.
They have decided to renovate for this coming year. And every time I look at the steps going up to the second level of this press box, I'm taken back to a time when Joe and I did a game here, and I forget what year it was, but Joe brought his son, and I referred to him as Little Joe.
And at the time, he was Little Joe.
Yeah, true enough. And Little Joe donned the headsets and joined me in the broadcast.
And you kicked me out of the booth, Dave.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
I said, take those off, Billet, give it to your kid.
And he did a fine job.
And we'll probably revisit that here with Chad's son before the season is over.
I certainly
maybe
hope so.
try to do that next week.
He's quite the character.
I certainly hope so, Dave, because Joe speaks of it frequently. It was quite an experience.
Well, I'm glad he remembers that, because that's one of those things out of all the years of broadcasting sporting events that's just emblazoned into my brain. And what are they shooting? Little footballs or T-shirts?
I think T-shirts. But
right.
we had some sort of a pause on the kick.
Short kickoff, and it's taken by Jonathan Price. See you, bye.
And
Price is in the end zone. He picked that up at about the what?
20 at the 27-yard line.
Okay, 27. Short kickoff. And boy, I'll tell you what, we talked about Huntingdon getting the football to start the second half, and they've given it up quickly, because they've scored quickly.
Very quickly.
Jonathan Price, just once again, we talked about yak when it comes to receiving, and that's the kind of thing that also comes into play then when you're talking about kick returns. The fans weren't even settled into their bleacher seats, and Huntingdon's already scored a touchdown.
Dave, by the time he hit the 45-yard line, there wasn't anyone near him.
No,
he was ahead of the field.
And this is the problem. And
Scotcha with the point after.
Yeah, and this is the problem that the opposition is going to face all year long, is where Huntingdon gets their touchdowns from. That just doesn't come from Border out of the backfield.
Right.
We've seen interceptions returned for a touchdown. That's the third kick return for a touchdown. 1 punt, 2 kickoffs this year, Dave. It's coming out of the wide receiver spot. It's coming out of the quarterback spot. Where are you going to stop it at? What are you going to do?
And Price is having a beautiful game.
Yeah.
I mean, he has really put in a game together here on, mainly on the special teams.
Well, I'll tell you what, you see this out of Price each and every week. You see Wagner step up, and then when you think, well, it's just those two guys, then you get Jarius Warner, who will, have a reception and take it. And then you'll see Border make a big carry, and, then you'll see you'll see somebody come in like Drew Weglers. And Weglers will take a couple of handoffs and gain big yardage. And it's just a next guy up mentality with the Bearcats.
So I'd like to point out in that first half, no penalties at all for either team.
Both knocked on wood.
Last week we had 23 penalties between the two teams, and this week, none.
Chad knocked on wood, so did Joe. Hopefully we'll be good on that penalty end.
They take this press box out, we don't feel knock on wood anymore.
That's right.
Well, we'll probably at least have Formica to knock on.
Does that count? Does that work?
Yeah, it works. It works.
Formica, titanium, and Kevlar.
Roll with the changes, baby. RPO speed.
Yeah, I was going to say a Speedwagon reference.
Gio Scotch has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Yeah, a whopping 12 seconds has come off the clock with Price's return for a touch. Nice line drive kick by Gio Scotch. He hits it about the 3, goes into the end zone and over the end line. And if you were going to draw up the perfect hit from Gio Scotch, that's it.
Yeah, it's his second touchback on a kickoff tonight. So, we talk about Jonathan Price having a heck of a game. Here's Gio Scotch. His shortest kickoff has been for 50 yards. He's made all 3 of his point after attempt conversions. And, oh, by the way, he's got a 40-yard field goal.
Yes,
so,
Yes, he does. We didn't mention that at the halftime stats.
We didn't, but he's having a hell of a game himself.
Yes,
so.
He is.
24-0. Bearcats with the lead. Bald Eagle area moving from right to left here as we start the second half. Bearcats, by the way, dressed in their road white tops. Numbers in navy, trimmed in red, with the navy pants and the big white wide
Looks
stripe.
like Juniata College out there, as far as I'm concerned.
Actually a pretty sharp uniform.
Good looking uniform.
Yes.
Here's the snap and the handoff, and new quarterback in there. And this is a run over the left side, picking up about 5 yards out to about I'll make it 7 yards out to the 27-yard line. Is Blake Roberts.
Yeah, the new quarterback looks like Derek Henry.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
I don't know what you can tell us about that, Joe. I don't know if you've seen Henry play this year or.
No,
he's not even listed on the
this
roster.
This is my
as
first time to see him.
So I wonder what goes into that decision-making process. Is Jones hurt or?
I don't know.
Well, he got up a couple of times a little gingerly.
Yeah.
In that first half.
All right, so now you got two guys in the backfield trying to figure out what play they're on, and that would be both Blake Roberts and the new quarterback, Derrick Henry. Henry hands the ball off to Roberts. He gets out over the 25, and I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
No,
I think he lost one.
Yep, he's gonna lose to a plethora of Bearcats who were in on that tackle,
which has been the norm there since midway through the second quarter.
Yep.
Third down and a short 5 or long 4, depending on how you want to look at it. And the Bearcats trying to flex their defensive muscle here right off the bat.
And this is going to be interesting to see what they do with the new quarterback. Are they going to come out and try and pass? Because I think really their only other option to try to convert this is to get into McClanahan's hands.
Clock rolling, 11 minutes left to go in the third quarter. It seems like we played a whole quarter already. And a quarterback rolls to his left, wide open. Good blocking out there. He gets out over the 30, out to about the 37-yard line. Dangerously, though, as Derrick Henry was going down, holding that football out there like a loaf of bread. But it did not come loose. He held on to it, and it's a first down for the Eagles.
There was a hungry Bearcat after it, Dave.
Yeah.
It was close.
Gets out to the 38-yard line for a 1st and 10, but I don't know. That's the kind of thing you don't like to see, even in the pros.
No, anywhere.
And college football, you name it. Don't carry that thing like a loaf of bread. Get that thing covered up, protected. Act like it's your baby.
Tuck it.
Yep. Derrick Henry in the shotgun. Snaps, rolls to his right. Past that is batted up into the air, and that was good old Ben Briggs, I think.
No, that was Alex Mikett.
Oh, okay.
Alex Mikett and that big old 6'3", 210 frame that he's got. He's headed to Millersville on a baseball scholarship. He's able to get that big old right paw up and block that pass, knock it down.
Very nice.
Yeah, I got to see
Great pursuit.
Mikett with the Bearcat baseball team.
Oh, nice.
I'm big fans of the guys that are baseball, football guys.
Yes.
There's a lot of them out here.
Yes, there are.
There's a lot of them out here. It translates. And there's some out here that would be excellent on a baseball team that don't even play.
Right.
So
yeah, it's a super area for that, too.
Yep.
The district is super for baseball. Oh, excuse me.
Pass batted down, falls incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Handoff this time, and that one goes to Gage McClanahan. McClanahan gets back to about the line of scrimmage again, and a host of Bearcat tacklers, not the least of which Drew Weglars.
Yeah, it's only his 5th carry of the night, which kind of surprises me. I figured he'd be a little bit more involved in the offense, Joe.
Did you know that Kevin Hallahan was a quarterback here?
I knew that Kevin Hallahan was a quarterback here. Yes, I did know that.
Speaking of knowing things, it's about time that we throw this out. We always give you a trivia question in around the third quarter, so we'll be doing that here shortly. Right now,
on a homecoming evening,
it is 3rd down, and they mark it as 8 on the scoreboard. Looks more like 9 if you look at it on the sideline. Quarterback Henry rolling to his right, looks downfield, lets it go. Intercepted! And Alex Mikett, who we've been giving all of those plaudits to, is the guy that picks it off and takes it down to the 40-yard line of the Bald Eagle area Eagles. A turnover. So the Bearcats play takeaway, and it's time now for tonight's, trivia question. We're going to go with this one. The 1998 season was historic for numerous reasons. One such reason, former Bearcat tight end that rewrote the record books. He holds the school record for career receptions, touchdowns, receiving, and yards. He held the school record for yards and TDs receiving in a season. And here's a touchdown pass to Jarris Warner, I think. Well, he's drugged down at about the 2-yard line. What a pass from Hootie to Jarris Warner. Don't get too used to looking at one Bearcat receiver. There are multiple weapons.
Another one's going to emerge.
Yeah. So finishing up the trivia question, once again, holding the school record for yards and TDs receiving in a season, 1998. Put yourself in that time frame and guess who that Bearcat is. A Bearcat tight end. Think about that. You can make your guesses to Greg Banks on Facebook
I'm not allowed to make any guesses.
Well, yeah.
I
You don't have
I wrote-
Facebook right now.
No, and I wrote the question, so I
Ian
can't do that.
Border's going to go in for a touchdown.
That sort of eliminates you.
It does.
on
It, in fact, I'm eliminated for like the next 20 years, so it just doesn't count.
The mystery is solved.
It's solved.
Chad will be in the nursing home and he'll still be keeping stats.
Probably.
9:06 left to go. As
I'll be on a ventilator doing it.
Border takes it in for a touchdown to make it a 30-0 Bearcat lead.
I mean, they've just dissected is what they've done since making those adjustments in the first half.
Yep. Quite a different story from the first quarter. Gio Scaccia pops it up, and I think he pulled it. Nope, he got it in between the uprights. Every once in a while he does that. I'm not sure why. If he misses, he pulls to the left.
It's kind of like my golf game.
Yeah,
when I miss, I pull. Wait, no, I pull to the left. I pull to the left every single time, so it can't be like my golf game.
Yeah. Don't denigrate Gio's work.
No, I won't.
Hey, I want to get back to the interception. The defensive set was incredible on that. There was absolutely nowhere for him to throw that football without there being a Bearcat in that area.
Right, and
in
you
that
also
zone. That was beautiful.
And you also saw the defensive end Ben Briggs kick out and force him more towards the sideline and having to throw on the run. And anytime a quarterback has to throw on the run, unless you're named Aaron Rodgers, it's a dicey situation. And it was. And you're trying to throw over a 6'3" defensive end that drops back into pass coverage. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, the pass coverage on that was stellar. That was incredible.
Keep it here on the Air Network. Coming up tomorrow at 11:30, the Pitt Panthers will try to key off of that big victory against Rice last week at Heinz Field. This time around, they'll be taking on the Orange of Syracuse. 11:30 with the pregame, courtesy of the Pitt Sports IMG Radio Network right here on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Bearcats up 31-0. And we'll see if the Eagles have an answer for all of this. I'll tell you what, two quick ones. You get a kickoff return, and then really, how long was that drive? 3 plays?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-play drive.
Two
plays, that's right. Pass completion to Jarris, and then Border takes it in. Return goes out over the 20, the 26-yard line. Knocked out of bounds is Tommy Snyder.
And another great kickoff that time. Another great deep kickoff by Gio.
So just about everything on all cylinders tonight for the Bearcats. And, it as I say, if you'd have been here in the first quarter, you might have thought differently.
Absolutely. That 0-0 score for the longest time before anybody cut loose, and then, of course, it was all Huntington.
Hootie up to 108 yards passing on 8 attempts. 3 completions, still to Price leading the way as far as that goes. But Baltimore has done a great job of limiting the Bearcat offense from running, but I think you're going to see more of that here as time moves on.
Second half quarterback for the Eagles, Derrick Henry. He pulled that snap in and gave the handoff, and I'll tell you what, there was nothing at that point Blake Roberts could do.
Landon Fisher, and it looks like number 32, a junior, Nels Darling, in on that tackle for loss. So, the Bearcat defense is swarming, guys. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, the pursuit was there.
And when you have you certainly have the shotgun set up there. This is exactly where they got him. It's about a 5-yard loss and a 2nd and 15. I'm going to say 2nd and I-80 at this point.
2nd and I-80. That's quite a bit, Dave.
Yeah. I'd give it 2nd and 220 is what I would do. I'm not going to go quite to I-80 yet.
It's right out there.
I know, but 220.
Right out there.
220's right there, too.
2nd down and 15.
We have fun, guys. Wait.
Snap goes to Henry, and right before everything gets into motion, the whistle blows, and it's delay of game against the Bald Eagle area Eagles, and there goes our nice, clean game.
8:03 on the clock.
That's amazing. As Dave and I stand here through 6 games, that is amazing.
And that was a delay of game. That was the penalty.
Right.
So
with a new quarterback.
With a new quarterback. So yes.
By the way, we have the coaches here from Huntingdon beside us. Good job on keeping the penalties down, guys. They're not listening to me.
They're listening on other headsets.
As well they shouldn't be.
That's right. God bless America. They're not listening to me.
They have other headsets.
We hope there are people out there listening to us, but sometimes
Not
two or
the
three
coaches.
times. Not the coaches.
All right, this is quarterback Keith Henry with the ball. He gets out over the 20 and is taken down at about the 21, so he'll get about maybe 4 yards on the carry. Maybe make it 5 as they're a little generous there.
That looked like it was going somewhere.
Yeah, it did. It did. And once again, the Bearcat defense does what they do.
The strong safety came up. Drew Weglar's come up and just plugged him.
Yes, he did.
Just stopped him dead cold.
Yes, he did.
It brings up a 3rd down and 15, so they're back to where they were prior to the penalty being assessed for delay of game.
Bald Eagle 1 of 10 on 3rd downs in this game, so right on par with what Huntington has been doing to opponents all season long.
7:20 left to go, 3rd quarter, 31-0, Bearcats with the lead. And this is a handoff, and that's going to get back to maybe a little bit beyond the original line of scrimmage, the handoff to Blake Roberts. And Roberts gets out to the 27, and that's where it started, and it's 4th down and 10. So this just goes to show what happens, A, when the defense is pursuing you, and B, when you add a little penalty onto your offensive stats.
And now the unfortunate thing is, not only does Baldegari have to give this up to the Bearcat offense, they got to give it up to Jonathan Price back here, for punt return. And Jonathan is averaging tonight, let me do a quick total here, because it's pretty impressive on punt returns, 16 yards a punt return. So
kicked away this time by Tommy Snyder, taken at the 45-yard line of the Bearcats by Jonathan Price, makes the fair catch, and why not? That's great field position to start from.
And that time, Bald Eagle had very nice punt coverage.
By the way, we have a score. Johnstown's leading Bedford 28-7 at the half. And if you want to make a guess on the trivia question, let me give that to you again quick. The 1998 season was historic for numerous reasons. One such reason, the former Bearcat tight end that rewrote the record books, holding the school record for career receptions, yards, and touchdowns receiving. He's holding the school record for yards and TDs receiving in a season. Who's that Bearcat? Make a guess at the Facebook page for the Air Network. Here's a pass completed to Wagner at about the 42, turns it upfield 45-50, and is taken out of bounds in Bald Eagle territory at the 46-yard line.
And he pulled that little Saquon Barkley dead leg over here at the sideline to be able to get some more yardage. So
nice call, Chad.
Yeah.
By the way, drop by the Air Network Facebook page. You can also text 242-4845 with an answer. And look at this. The Indians and the Yankees are tied in the 8th at 8. How about that? Penns Valley, look at this. Penns Valley 6, Bellefonte nothing at the half.
That's crazy.
That is.
I'm sorry. That's crazier than anything I've heard in the last 5 weeks.
Here's a handoff to Ian Border over the left side, and he's going to have the 1st down and more as he gets over the 45-yard line of the Eagles and down to about the 42. I think they'll mark him down at the 43 in the end. And so that's good enough, though, for a Bearcat 1st down. Let's see. Somebody guessed Dave Gray. No, that's Greg Banks was basically saying that was a big Bearcat lineman from the 70s. For whatever that's worth. We want to thank Dory, Peg, and Dave for tuning into Bearcat Football on the Air Network and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. And we hope to be there for you during the playoffs. Still looking for sponsors because of the confiscatory fees of the PIAA. Boy, is that a nice recovery by Hootie on a low snap. Gets it to Wagner. Nothing happens on the play. But I'll tell you what, that could have been a Bald Eagle touchdown if Hootie doesn't keep that under control, and also that Wagner doesn't handle it that well once he does get it.
Right, and you said it right. He handled it well because that could have been disastrous.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah, that was an unintentional pick 6.
Hootie up to 117 yards on 6 of 9 passing tonight. So another fine job by the junior quarterback here.
Wagner -1 on that play. Sets up a 2nd down and 11. 5:13 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Bearcats up by a score of 31-0. Wagner in motion going left to right. Pass downfield. Nice catch. And then when he hits the turf, the ball pops out. Is he down on the field by contact?
They're going to say
Andrew Miller made the reception, and I think he got the wind knocked out of him, too.
It's either going to be one of two things, Dave. That's either going to be him down by contact or an incomplete pass. It's not going to be a fumble by Andrew Miller. The ground clearly caused that. It's whether he had possession going down. That's what we're going to wait and see. And it looks like they're going to reward him with that. Jess
Nagel is going to not be happy about that, the head coach of the Eagles, as he's out there in the field. Now he's got the open palms and pointing at the field. Jess is just not happy.
If he had possession, the ground cannot cause a fumble. So that's what they're going to say happened right here is that he had control of the ball, lands on the ground, the ball pops out. So that's a 14-yard pass play for the Bearcats.
And Miller is up off the field.
The good news is Miller is off on his own accord.
31-0 Bearcats with the lead, and 4:59 left to go. Once again, if you want to make a guess on tonight's trivia question, do so at the Facebook page.
That's the fifth receiver for Hootie tonight, so he's got
spreading it around much.
He's spreading the wealth, and that's what they need to do. Show that they're diversified. Show, hey, we're going to stop this guy. Well, you're not going to stop all of them.
All right, everything is settled down. The Bearcat offense back on the field. The Eagle defense has been out there somewhat waiting as Andrew Miller was attended to. Here's a handoff to Border. He's down over the 30, and he only picks up a couple. And he's brought down after a gain of 2. It is a gain, though, and it sets up a 2nd down and 8.
9 carries, 34 tough yards for Ian tonight, as he's really not been a big factor in this 31-0 score at this point in time. But that's not a bad thing when you look at it because, like I said, okay, we're going to stop big number 44. We know he's your big back. Well, look what else is happening across the stat sheet.
I was going to say, they're spreading the wealth.
That's it.
Like you had said a few minutes ago.
Clock rolling, 4 minutes left to go, third quarter. Hootie in the shotgun. To his left, it's Border. He lets one go. This could be picked off. No, it ends up being about even Steven down in that direction as he tried to complete it to Jarris Warner. And the coverage from the new quarterback, Derrick Henry, as far as the defense for the Eagles go.
Yeah,
when he first let go of that, Chad, I'm looking at it from up here, and it looked like, that could be an interception.
Right, it was a nice
throw.
All
of a sudden, Jarris Warner just goes around the defender.
It was a well-thrown ball. Well-thrown ball.
Yeah, that was well thrown and well covered. That was a football play right there.
Yeah, one you'd like to see. You got positives on both ends of that. If you're a Bearcat fan, you're saying, well, it would have been nicer if he'd have caught it.
Absolutely.
Yes, it would have. Hootie takes the snap. It's a little screen pass over to Wiglars. Wiglars turns it up at the 30, down to 25, and a flag comes in at the end as he's tackled just short of 1st down yardage.
It probably should have come in sooner than that. I think you got a block in the back coming up here against Huntingdon.
Yeah, he gave himself a nice.
Yes, exactly. Good call, Chad.
A good call. Nice move though. They gained an extra 5 yards on his run there.
Yeah, Drew Wiglars, as we had talked about last week, he was just so instrumental in keeping that momentum that the Bearcats had established going against Juniata, because there was that somewhat, the crowd got silent, that sinking feeling when you saw Border go off the field. Hootie and Wiglars picked it up and said, don't worry, fans, we got it. We got you back. And not getting any guesses on the trivia question here. Take yourself back to 1998. And we're looking for the name of a former Bearcat tight end who rewrote the record books. We may give you a hint here shortly.
His records are about to be broken. I've been broadcasting it for all, and that, but they're, go back and look at some documents. They're out there.
Timeout taken by the Eagles. And it's a 31-0 Bearcat lead. I'll give you that question one more time here. The 1998 season, for numerous reasons. One such reason, former Bearcat tight end that rewrote the record books. He holds the school record for career receptions, yards, and touchdowns receiving, and he holds the school record for yards and TDs receiving in a season. Name that Bearcat. Facebook. That is where Greg Banks can take your answers. Go to the Facebook page and give Greg a shout.
We'd like to say thanks to all the dedicated Bearcat broadcast boosters who bring you Bearcat football every week on the Air Network and 94.1 FM. Thanks to Huntington Moose Family Center, 223, in the heart of the community. D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family. Also, Simone Chiropractic and Weight Loss Center in downtown Huntington. Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntington. All-American Pizza and Subs. They're also in downtown Huntington and Pennswoods.net, the home of free classified ads. So thanks again for supporting Bearcat Broadcast on the Air Network and 94.1 FM in Huntington.
Back, set, ready to go. Third down for the Bearcats, about 12 to go. Hootie back to pass, launches one. Jarris Warner wide open, touchdown.
Wide open. What a call. Great
I think
call.
he made an order at Sheets on the way down the field and picked it up in the end zone. That's how wide open he was.
Yeah, I mean, it was him and Bigler. That was all that was out there.
Him and Bigler.
Him and Bigler.
How about him and Port Matilda? Come
that
on,
too.
Get a little more regional.
You're right. I need to.
It is 37-0 now in favor of the Bearcats. Gio Scaccia trying to make it 38.
You can get to Bigler from here.
Well, you can, but that's not my.
You just go to Port Matilda and up.
That's not my best reference here for geography. Gio Scaccia puts it right down the pipe, up and good. 38-0. Bearcats with the lead. And Chad, I think the thing I have to learn here is there are going to be games where the opposition's going to be geared up, ready to go against the Bearcats, and maybe the start of the game is not going to be what we expect, but what we expect and what plays out on the field are two different things. That's what they showed me here tonight. You know, it kind of happened that way at Clearfield.
Yeah.
Clearfield was right in the game. So was Bellefonte in that game. But the Bearcats, Joe, have been able to do this time after time where it may look like that the game is somewhat not getting away from them, but you got a team that's going to play even with you. And all of a sudden it just switches around.
Like I said before, I go back to that pregame interview, and he said, you take what the defense gives you. And they made those adjustments, and look what has happened.
Well, and they're giving them the passing game. The last 2 weeks, they are giving them the passing game, and Huntington's saying, guess what? We're going to take advantage of that. Andrew has thrown for 419 yards out of the last 2 games. So great play calling here by the Huntington Bearcats is, again, taking them what they give you. Andrew is now 9 of 13, 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. I believe that is his 11th touchdown on the year, throwing the football. So just, again, when one weapon goes down, another one emerges. And we're seeing that, Warner didn't have very many catches coming into the night. Right now, he's the leading receiver yardage-wise with 70 yards and a touchdown.
My goodness.
Scaccia with the kickoff. Pretty end over end, taking it about the 8-yard line, out over the 10. The 20, up to the 25, and a nice tackle on special teams for the Bearcats that time from Andrew Edwards as he gets in there for the stop on the return by Tommy Snyder. So it's the Bearcats defense out there again, 38-0. The Bearcats with the lead, 3:10 left to go in the third quarter. And we're getting close to that rolling clock stuff.
Yeah, and this is usually the time when you start. Well, it started at 35, so it's going to go now. You've got that already, but you're going to start to see some what I like to call clean shirts. New guys coming in here before too long. Obviously on AstroTurf you're not muddy, so it's not going to be a clean shirt, but
True that.
You're going to start to see that here soon.
Bald Eagle with the shotgun snap. Quarterback Derrick Henry rolls to his right. Almost brought down, but he gets back up and he goes over to the left. And a nice trip tackle that time. And what a great stop by, was that Finkel?
Yeah, it was Finkel.
Andrew Finkel with just a heck of a stop there, because heck of an effort, too, I want to say, by Derrick Henry.
It looked like Henry was going to get out of that, and when he made his cutback and came this way, then Finkel came in. And
it's interesting, Joe, when you look at the roster, it says Derrick Henry, 5'7", 165 pounds, senior, positions, athlete.
Yeah.
Doesn't list another position. It just says athlete. It says we can put him wherever we want. He's an athlete.
Anywhere we want. Yep.
You don't see that often.
I'll buy that. I saw him on defense. He looked good there, too. And he is back to pass right now out of an empty backfield, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Fisher. Fisher goes down over the 20 and is eventually brought down at the 15-yard line. The Bearcats play takeaway again, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at the Bald Eagle 15. Make it the 17 as they eventually place it down. Yeah, it's going to be the 17. But Landon Fisher getting a statistical reward there as Landon puts in so much hard work week after week for the Bearcats, and this time he has that really pretty stat of having an INT.
That's Huntington's 12th interception on the season.
Oh, my God.
12th. I mean, it's staggering what this defense is doing, I'm telling you.
38-0 Bearcats with the lead. And it is Andrew Hootie in there as quarterback and hands the ball off to Ian Border. And Border gets down over the 15, picks up about 4 on the carrier. 2nd down and 6. I think at this point, Chad, if the Bearcats do happen to score again here, I think we'll probably see Troha come in.
Yeah, I would think that you're going to start to see some stuff happen here probably at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I would think that at the end of this quarter you'll start to see a lot.
Yeah, end of this drive most likely.
Yeah. Getting down to the final minute here in the third quarter, and the handoff to Wiglars. He's in for a touchdown.
Running hard.
He was slowed down just a little bit at about the 7-yard line, and it was almost like a cartoon type thing where get the mosquitoes off him.
Yeah, well,
it just brushed it off and went in.
He just kept the legs moving.
You know, and we saw him run exactly like that last week whenever Ian Border went down. Hard, keep the feet moving, just running right through the line.
Just power football, and he did it. Yep.
Good job, Drew. And it makes it a 44-0 Bearcat lead. And another drive that took about 2.5 seconds. Gio Scotcha with another point after attempt, and it is good. And it makes the score Bearcats 45 and Bald Eagle nothing with 55 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
And again, this is a game that I talked to Coach Hootie a little bit beforehand and said that he was a little bit nervous. He had some butterflies in this game for obvious reasons. You know, he knew Bald Eagle area was good. They had a lot of good athletes out here, but more so, this game really pointed the way towards them kind of solidifying that top spot in the district, that coveted top spot in the district, which is also important specifically this year when you've got 2 other great teams sitting out there. And I'm not discounting anybody else, but you got 2 other really good teams in Forest Hills and Central. You really want to get that top spot so you don't have to play one of those guys in the semifinals. And you've kind of got a clean slate to get it to the finals to play one of those 2. So, you know, this game meant a lot to this team, and it really meant a lot. And for them to be able to do what they're doing, they're right on average for the points scored for the year. So, you know, and coming from all angles, not just coming from one guy, coming from all angles tonight.
And just add in that field goal for Scotcha, too.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I mean.
Something that really completes the circle that Chad's talking about from all directions. And that would be one of them.
Was that his longest of the year, of the season?
Yes.
40-yarder.
Yep.
And he can do them a little further.
You can see he has the leg.
Yeah, and they have confidence in putting him out there. You saw it. They didn't hesitate. Absolutely didn't hesitate at all.
Sophomore.
Definitely has the leg.
God bless America.
How about it?
55 seconds left to go third quarter. And the kickoff is fielded at about the 8-yard line, out over the 15, 20, 25, 30, and finally brought down at about the 31-yard line that time. On the return, it's Matthew Reese.
So what has turned into what we saw a tight, good defensive ball game, and then we got a player down out here
Bearcat.
trying to get that number. But what has turned out into be a good first quarter defensively, and even midway through the second quarter, at the end, at the end of the half, a good defensive ball game. Huntington has just ran away with it here in the third quarter. And again, this is a Bearcat football defense that hasn't allowed a point in the third quarter all year long. Keep that in mind.
Congratulations to Matt Martyr. Matt Martyr making the guess. And Matt Martyr guessed Courtney Geddick. Matt Martyr, you are correct. So I don't know if Greg Banks has a prize for you or not, or just a good healthy pat in the butt.
I think it's a golf
pat in the butt and a good job.
It's a good golf clap. Injured Bearcat is up. We'll try and get that number for you.
60.
I can't say if it's 66. It looks like it could be 66.
Which would be Andrew
Edwards.
Yeah, that is Edwards.
Junior special teams guy. So,
but he does go off the field. Had someone beside him, but under his own power.
Yes.
Want to make that point. So I know the Edwards family or maybe relatives that are listening outside the area may be concerned and know that Andrew was able to get up and get off the field. All right. Bald Eagle area football with 46 seconds left to go. And the clock begins to roll, and it's going to continue to roll out to the end of the game with this 45-0 lead for the Bearcats.
Yes, in high school football, at 35 points in the second half, it starts to roll automatically.
Still in a quarterback is Henry. Henry's going to do a keep. He's up over the 35 and gets out over the 40, close to a Bald Eagle area first down.
You know, he's an impressive runner for a quarterback. The other one that I saw that kind of looks just like him is Dylan Dietrich from Bellefonte, who's having a heck of a nice year.
You don't have a chance of an update on that score, do you, Dave?
The Bellefonte game, I don't have anything.
No, but if somebody does, get that to us, because that's amazing what's happening there.
Yes. And the third quarter expires. We have 3 in the books here at Wingate, PA, home of the Bald Eagle area Eagles, and the score, Bearcats 45 and Bald Eagle area nothing. Back with the fourth quarter of tonight's game right after this. You're listening to the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM, Community FM in Huntingdon.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of ensured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing, available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon.
All-American Pizza and Subs in downtown Huntingdon at 612 Washington Street is the home of the new Bearcat Sub. Enjoy mozzarella cheese with bacon, crispy chicken, sour cream and chive fries, and our top-selling wing flavor, Mactown Gold, all wrapped on a fresh homemade roll. Try the Bearcat plus our many other great pizzas and subs at All-American Pizza and Subs. Don't forget their new Pepsi flavor shots, too. All-American Pizza and Subs will donate $1 for every pizza sold during October, with proceeds going toward breast cancer research. Call 643-0222 for delivery. Open till 9, closed Mondays.
This is Ben Briggs, and you're listening to the Huntingdon Bearcats on the airnetwork.net.
Thank you, Mr. Briggs. Ben Briggs bringing us back from the commercial break, and you didn't miss much. Yeah, you did miss something. You missed a flag flying in the air because
that's how we start the
Bearcats
fourth quarter.
Were drawn over by Bald Eagle just as they get a nice gainer offensively. They shoot themselves in the foot.
Thank you, Myron.
So, yeah, not what you want to do when you're trying to get things in gear here. 2nd down and 5, we're going to call it. And once again, it's a quarterback keep, and the Bearcats are going to bottle that up pretty quickly. He's going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmages. Derrick Henry, ball pops out, but he was down at that point. But you have a number of Bearcats.
The rugby scrum.
Yeah. Zach Peck in there as part of the defensive tackle unit to bring down Derrick Henry.
Huntingdon has 10 tackles for loss. 10.
That's dang impressive.
Bald Eagle area has now 114 yards of total offense. I can't remember what they had at the half, but
it's going backward.
It's not going in the right direction.
No, I don't even believe they've been into Huntington territory yet.
Not certainly in the second half.
No.
And this is another keep, and this
Great
one's
job.
Going nowhere. More yardage lost as Derrick Henry is brought down in the backfield, tried to spin and make a number of other moves.
The containment by the ends is just impressive, as Ben Briggs just walked right out around there. He had Draven Zook with him, and Henry had nowhere to go.
No, the defensive package, unbelievable. I mean, there's nowhere to go.
No.
By the way, Johnstown 42, Bedford 7. That's in the third quarter. Bellefonte 7, Penns Valley 6 in the third quarter.
That's crazy, folks. If you're listening, that's crazy compared to what we just saw out of those two teams earlier in the year. That's craziness.
And this time the ball is handed off, and it's Tommy Snyder. He goes over the left side, gets out over the 40, has a first down for the Eagles.
Tommy was actually back to punt, Dave.
And that ball fell out of his hands.
And he turned it into a first down.
Yes.
How about that stuff?
But he did pay for it because he got popped pretty good over there.
Yeah, he got up and he's on his way back to the huddle.
That was a football pop.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not saying it was anything other than it was just a nice, clean, good, hard hit.
It's kind of amazing now that a lot of announcers have to clarify that.
and color analysts have to identify. People are so overreactive to hits. That's what this game is.
I mean, they're wearing helmets and pads,
That's what this game is predicated on.
Right. It's like being overreactive to somebody kicking a soccer ball and saying you can't kick it.
Yeah. And once again, a quarterback keep is Derrick Henry is the solo rusher here, since he has come in to quarterback this football team in the second half. And in this particular case, he picks up 8 to make it a 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, nice run that time by Henry. And you can see, again, we pointed out, it lists him as an athlete. He's fast. He is very, very speedy.
And he's another one of those guys that keeps the legs going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're just trying to find some sort of an answer because there's too many Bearcats
right, and you have to build
in the Eagle backfield.
Right,
Yes.
and Joe, you have to build an identity because this is a good, solid nucleus to work with for the next 2 years here.
Handoff this time, and it goes to Blake Roberts, and Roberts will have a 1st down and a couple extra as he gets down to the 44-yard line of the Bearcats. 1st and 10 for the Eagles with 8:53 left to go in the football game.
And Chad, you would know this better than I. Does it look like there's a lot of substitutions in there for Huntingdon?
Yeah, I'm starting to see some new guys out there. Absolutely. I see Ryder Kosick over here in a cornerback position. I can't really tell on the defensive line, but yes.
45-0 Bearcats with the lead. Another keep, and this is going to be big yardage lost as back there in the backfield, Zach Peck.
Yep, another sophomore for Huntingdon. And again, we keep talking about the sophomore classes out of these two young guys or these two teams, but they are substantial, folks.
One thing I got to say about this defense, the way they tackle, Joe, they're all really solid. You're not always told to tackle at the waist area, but they're so good at it.
Yeah, there's a lot of fundamentally sound football being played here on the Huntingdon side of the football.
And we are at 2nd down and 15. Quarterback Derrick Henry looks over toward the sideline right in front of us. The Eagles on the near side of the field and the Bearcats over on the opposite side. Bearcats traveled well this week. Quite a few fans over there. Here's a pass that is incomplete. The closest player to it was Andrew Miller, as he may have had an interception, but just a little too low for Andrew to do much with it.
Yeah, and Dave, you allude to the Bearcat faithful traveling well. When you're doing good, you're going to want to go and travel to those games. Specifically, we've had great weather for Friday nights, too.
Boy, I'll say.
You can't beat this.
You can't beat this.
No.
I was thinking of that when you were talking about the number 1 seed, trying to get that seed, because you also have, not only do you have these other teams that they're going to be up against that are going to give them, superior opposition, but you're also going to probably have some weather changes in there.
Yeah, you betcha.
They're going to have to deal with that. This stuff is ideal tonight. This is beautiful.
Gorgeous evening.
7 minutes left to go in the game. And from the shotgun, a bounce pass. You can do that in basketball, but not football.
Well, you can do that throwing to first base, too, but it doesn't count here.
Well, that's true.
It was a nice scoop. Yeah.
And we did have it was a nice scoop over there. The Matthew Reese scooped that up. But you do have to catch it first in the air. 4th down and 15.
Unless
pass.
it's behind you.
That's true. Tommy Snyder is in the punt. We'll see if this one goes any better than the other one. But then again, you could argue that the other one went pretty good since they got a 1st down out of it. That's right?
The interesting thing, there's no quit here in this Eagle team being down 45-0.
And
that's a nice punt by Snyder. And, boy, that looked like Price had made a fair catch, but that's not the case. He caught it. Tried to do his typical Price backpedal and then move right or left to get some yardage, but he was swamped under there. And they're going to give him just past the 10-yard line. So that's a nice thank you, officials. Technically, I'd mark him down at about the 8-yard line. That's where he went back to and got brought down. That's not the way they marked it.
And like I say, even though it's 45-0, that was nice punt coverage. And once again, they're playing the ball to the end.
Not giving up. And I'll tell you
what I was trying to say, Dave.
Yeah. The
Thank
big thing about that too, Joe, is if you get to that point, the other end of that, you do start to slack off and you end up getting hurt.
Yes.
Is what happens.
Nick Troha in a quarterback now for Huntingdon.
As we predicted. And, boy, there's a nice hurtling run that time. Is that Weglars?
I think so. Waiting to see the number here. But
see when he gets up.
Sure as heck ran like him.
Yep. Drew Weglars, as he went about 2 yards and did a high hurdle up over the defender to turn that into a 5-yard gain. Otherwise, he'd only had about 2.
Yeah, and it's like we saw him do last week. When Aaron Border went down, he went in there and ran hard.
Clearfield 28, Tyrone nothing. That's in the fourth quarter.
Tyrone might be in danger of not making a playoff this year, and that is something that they're not used to doing.
I was going to say that's an unusual.
Yes.
Handoff this time once again to Drew Weglars, and he gets out not quite. Let's get about a yard on that, Chad.
Give him about 2.
2.
It's going to be close to 2 and a third down here.
Third down, long 3, short 4, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, and I got to believe Huntington's just going to run the football here. I mean, there's no sense in doing really anything else.
Whoa. Well. We will not rebroadcast tonight's game until 11:30 tonight.
Wow, so if you're an insomniac, you can listen to us.
Yeah, right. If you're a glutton for punishment and an insomniac, tune in later.
I mean, you are really, really struggling in life if you're listening to us at 11:30 at night. And I don't mean any disrespect to this game.
Well, I want to say thank you.
Well, we're talking about me and Dave. We say something every week, but 11:30, you've really got issues. In fact, there's specialists out there for you if that's what's going on.
Gain of about 3 in the play and a fourth down and a yard. So we'll have a punt this time from Andrew Hootie, who comes back into the game, giving a break there.
Joe, they'll be more glad to listen to you, but Dave and I know
yeah. We have been discarded with the trash.
Yeah, you'll be eating your Doritos and saying, what the heck am I? I'll just get into it and listen to it. Yeah.
It's a good snap.
11:30.
Hootie gets it away,
nice punt.
And it comes down at the 44-yard line, a bald eagle area, up over the 45. And, boy, Matthew Reese saw what he thought was an opening there and really started to pick up his speed. And before he knew it, Jacob Wagner was all over.
It closed in a hurry.
So he's brought down at about the 43-yard line of the Bearcats. 1st and 10, bald eagle area, clock rolling. 3:44 left to go in the football game and a 45-0 Bearcat lead. Now, the reason this is not being replayed until 11:30, this coming from management at theairnetwork.net, is so that the Bearcats can watch their highlights on the TV sports shows. And also, we'll rebroadcast it tomorrow after the Pitt game. And it may be available for you tomorrow right before the Pitt game on the website front page. We do it in a podcast form for you. It could be available there.
Nice.
And here's a passing completion as Derrick Henry rolled to his right and let it go, and his pass was intended for Matthew Reese.
He actually had Reese open about the 30-yard line, but the pass was just a little wide and sailed out of bounds.
And I'm sure that this isn't something that Henry is practicing throughout the week, so he's just doing his best out here,
right.
Whatever. But I would like to know what happened to Jones, as we've not seen him in action in the second half at all, and it was only a 17-0 lead for Huntington, to start that third quarter. So I'm a little bit surprised to see Henry in here and know what happened to Jones.
Greg Banks says this was all requested by the Bearcats' parents.
They want to listen to us. They want to take the time to listen to us.
Why?
I don't.
Well,
hey.
I'm saying thank you.
Yes. Why? Yes. Thank you to the Bearcat parents for making that type of suggestion. We are glad that we are contributing to this magical season that these boys are having, and that you're willing to listen to us again.
Absolutely.
Because they're sitting here. They're not. It's probably the ones in the stands that want to rebroadcast and listen to it. To relive it for their sons that are out here that are doing this. So you're welcome.
And at 45 zip, why not?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, goodness. God bless America.
That's right.
2 minutes left to go in the game. 45-0 Bearcats with the lead. Bald Eagle with the ball. Third down. And we're going to call it about 7. And it's a handoff this time that goes from Derrick Henry. And carrying the ball that time for the Eagles, Zach Weibel, number 36.
That's of the carry of the night, and it goes backwards again for the.
Yeah, it's about a loss of 2 on that.
Yeah, it is. It's a loss of 2, and again, just continuing to see this Bearcat defense flex its muscles has been impressive all night long. I know, up until these last couple of games, we've been talking about the offense a lot, but it's this defense that is just getting it done. There's a lot of new shirts out here, but one guy steps in and just continue to do it. Is Bald Eagle area is going to go for it here on 4th down? Nope, they're not. I see the punter back there. So Snyder's back to punt.
Yeah, they're going to punt. with 1:16 on a rolling clock. And 4th down and 9. And the punt is away off the foot of Tommy Snyder. It's going to hit at about the 7 and bounce forward and eventually swatted down by Cale Gardner. Joe.
Yes, once again, we'd like to thank all the dedicated Bearcat broadcast boosters who bring you Bearcat football every week on the Air Network at 94.1 FM. Thanks to Huntington Moose Family Center 223, the heart of community, and D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family. Also, Simone Chiropractic and Weight Loss Center in downtown Huntington, Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntington, All-American Pizza and Subs in downtown Huntington, and PennsWoods.net, the home of the free classified ads. So thanks again for supporting Bearcat broadcast on the Air Network at 94.1 FM in beautiful Huntington.
Obviously, Greg Banks has no idea how to take a joke. As he sends me this message about why the games are on, and it's like, so you're not getting the joke here. The joke is we're making fun of ourselves, or at least I'm making fun of us from the standpoint of who want to listen to us.
Yes, it's not, it's not about anything yet. It's about our voices being on at 11:30.
Yeah, it's no big deal, and we're not making anything, any kind of a statement here. So, at any rate,
just having a good time and enjoying a nice football game here
on a beautiful night, as you guys just alluded to,
at an Alumni Stadium in Wingate. And I'm telling you right now, this one is winding down.
Yeah, 15 seconds. Both teams are already lined up in midfield and going across to shake hands. And, of course, you always love to see the sportsmanship at the end of the game by these high school teams. And I've not seen it fail yet. So, once again, congratulations to the Bearcats. They go to 7-0 on the season. Bald Eagle area falls to 3-4. Final score tonight, Bearcats 45, Bald Eagle area nothing. Back with our recap of tonight's game right after this on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
Sometimes facts are hard to face. Statistics show that obesity is a problem in the United States, and it's not getting any better. At Simone Family Chiropractic, we understand this problem. We also know that obesity leads to very serious health problems later in life. There is a way to cleanse your body and get back to optimum health. It is called the Doctor-Supervised Chirothin System, and it teaches you how and what to eat in the real world. Call us at Simone Family Chiropractic at 814-643-2616, or stop in and see us at 613 Washington Street in Huntingdon, across from All-American Pizza, or find us on Facebook.
PennsWoods.net Classifieds offers the freshest, most recent classified ads available with over 1,500 new ads each day. If you're looking for a reliable used vehicle, check out the multiple ads daily on PennsWoods.net Classifieds. From cars, trucks, RVs, and motorcycles, you can scan the ads at PennsWoods.net at any time of the day or night and find something that fits your needs. Looking for household items, student housing, or even a new pet? PennsWoods.net Classifieds has it. PennsWoods.net, where you can buy, sell, or trade locally.
D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman and Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
Hi, I'm Drew Weglars, and you're listening to the Huntington Bearcats on airnetwork.net.
Drew Weglars, he's a baseball guy. Yay.
We love baseball guys.
Anyway, we're back at Wingate, PA, the home of the Bald Eagle area Eagles, where they presented certainly a challenge at the beginning of the game for the Huntingdon Bearcats, but in the end, it was the Bearcats that came to prevail and win this game going away. Didn't think it would be that way. And, you know, one of the things we talked about here was the clock management, the way things worked out at the end of the first half. And I'll tell you what, to me, that was really, if you want to give this a turning point from being a close game to being the game that Huntingdon could run away with, that to me was it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Dave. That was stellar. This was very impressive. This game was 0-0. It was tight. Huntingdon broke through, and then the next thing you know, like you said, that the timeouts, the clock management, and before that,
and getting the touchdown,
and then getting the touchdown, the 40-yard field goal, that all came within that same time frame. But that clock management, that was stellar. That was amazing.
I'll tell you what, I normally
very impressive team.
Being around football as long as I have, I don't think I can sit here and tell you about it. I can comment on it, but I don't think that way. And that, to me, was the classic example of a coaching staff that was thinking so far ahead as to what they could accomplish there in that final 2 minutes of the football game, and the way they took care of that. Now, one of the things that enables you to do that as a coach is, your defense is holding the other team at bay.
Right. And
kind of stuff that at times happens. We were making some changes with the equipment here, and I guess I'm upset you moved me. The phone got PO'd for some reason. All right, the phone's recovered. We're reconnected to the airnetwork.net and all set to bring you our wrap-up for tonight's game, or at least continue it as we had started that before. Some pretty amazing stuff tonight for the Bearcats. Chad States has it as it comes down to
you need to throw that to Chad. He has some incredible stats right
numerical analysis of tonight's game.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we talk about, what this Huntingdon defense actually did, when we start to look at, what Baudiguaria put up, Baudiguaria only ran the ball. They ran the ball 37 times for 96 net yards and threw for 37. So that's 133 yards of total offense for Bald Eagle. That just isn't going to get it done. Conversely, I will say the Baudiguaria defense didn't do a bad job. They held this Huntingdon offense, which has been averaging nearly 400 yards a game, to only 248. That's 80 yards passing and 168 passing and 80 yards rushing, as they were able to keep Huntington's uber back Ian Border 10 carries for 38 yards and also a pair of touchdowns. But really, Huntington got it done through the air. Andrew Hootie, 9 of 13, 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those 2 touchdowns, one going to Price for let's see here, Price's was a 52-yarder, and the other one going to Jarris Warner for a 38-yard score, as Huntington again racked up 248 yards of total offense. The most important thing that I see on this stat sheet, though, Huntington fumbles and lost, 0 and 0. Penalties, 1 and 5.
Good stuff.
So when you look at it, that's really where Huntington really just showed the massive improvement tonight over anything that they've done all year long.
So what an effort by the Bearcats tonight, taking on Bald Eagle area. And Steve Miller has joined us. Steve and I go back a long way. It's kind of like old home week.
Well, it's homecoming.
It is.
It's homecoming as far as broadcasters go as well. Steve, you watched tonight's game. What kind of an opinion do you come away with of the Bearcats?
Well, they are everything that I heard about prior to, everything that I prepped for upstairs on YouTube, and they're a solid team. I talked to some Bellefonte people earlier today, and they were sending positive vibes, hoping that the upset could happen to try and help them out. And they're in a struggle over at Bellefonte right now between Penn Valley.
That's a shocker. But, I'm just stunned.
Well, I think there's a lot of overlooking people in the schedule going on over there. But the Bearcats, they're triple threats. I mean, the stats that they put up, I mean, the all-purpose yards of some of these guys, it's amazing. And they're a team to be reckoned with, not in October, but in November.
And you're right. They're getting it done in all 3 phases of the game. It's special teams. That's their 3rd kickoff return for a touchdown, or kick return for a touchdown, including a punt for Price as well. So they're getting it done on special teams. You see what they have in Gio Scotch out here as a field goal kicker.
That was 40 yards.
Yeah, it was 40 yards. You don't see, that's not, 40 yards clean.
Yes.
And easy. And Hootie did not hesitate in putting him out there. So offensively, they're getting it done. Defensively, they just clamped down. They just totally said, Baldigary, guess what? You had fun first 2 drives. That's all you're going to have for the rest of the ball game. And that's how you win in November.
Right.
You're exactly right with that.
Well, the first 2 series, we talked about it upstairs when we were doing the game. It was a positive thing for the Eagles to put that many yards up, but the blocked field goal and nothing else, no opportunity for scoring. And you could see the deflation start, and then it just started, and then the third quarter happened, and good night, nurse.
The other turning point for me in the game too was they're on their way. They're on a march toward the Bearcat end zone, and what was it? 3 times in a row, the quarterback got sacked.
Yep,
that was huge.
Yep.
That really
not
turned
only sacked, but 4 yards, 3 yards, 5-yard loss.
Yeah.
Just, push back.
Huntingdon had 12 tackles for loss tonight, including 4 sacks, 2 more interceptions that makes their total 12 for the season. Another block kick. That's the 3rd of the season for them so far. So they're just continually impressing each and every time they go out. And they're going to be a very tough out. If they're able to advance outside of the district, look out. Because they're going to be a tough out because of that defense and special teams.
Jones had no time to throw, and by the third quarter, they yanked him just for safety's sake because he took some shots.
Yeah,
he's a slight sophomore,
right?
And he's gonna be sore tonight and into tomorrow for the hits he took.
Now, one of the things you bring up there, saying sophomore, so much of the Bald Eagle team is so young. Boy, are they going to be good for years to come.
Knock on wood if there's people up front to block for them. That's the issue. I mean, we watched it. You guys saw it too. They were coming on the corners and they didn't hide it. We're coming and they got there.
Yep.
That's when a defense can put up that kind of, I'm going to do this, and then they do it. That's going to be something for teams to be thinking about as they look at the schedules and look at draws for districts, and then you get into state stuff.
All right, so the Bearcats make it 7-0 on the season, and once again, Bald Eagle area falls to 3-4 after their loss on not the happiest of homecoming nights for the Eagles, but I'll tell you what, still an impressive team to watch, and even though they were beat by a big margin, what we just talked about, I think the future here is going to be bright, and hopefully these young guys are able to work with some guys to get that training, that weight training, get a little more bulk on them, because that's what you need. It's amazing to me. I don't know, for Steve and Joe, when you guys, and even Chad for that matter, when you were growing up, do you remember you're called a boy at that point in life. Do you remember guys in your high school that were as big as some of these kids? I mean, I remember maybe one.
No, not strength-wise.
But this many?
No.
Well, we had, when I graduated in 83 from Bald Eagle, Stan Eisenhuth was the year before me in 82. He went on to Towson, and then he actually played in the NFL. He was head and shoulders above everybody else in terms of size on the line.
Yeah, it was the exception, not the rule, though,
right.
and we've had that before. The year before I graduated in 1990, Austin Garner's dad from Central, John Garner, and Ian Border's dad, Kurt Border, was a whole group of those guys that were fairly large and strong, but that was the exception, not the rule. Because years after that, it just kind of dropped off significantly. You don't see that these days. These kids put in the work, but they are bigger, faster, stronger. Right. It is a different game than what we've seen played before.
Yeah, and if you can take some inspiration from the guy across the hill over there that runs the ball for the team that wears blue and white, that's a guy to take some. If you want to get some inspiration, that's a guy to look at.
The weight room pays off, and he's definitely a factor for that.
And I got to think that Ian Border at times is on the Barkley playbook.
He does the same stuff. I mean, he's doing the squats. It's all about the lower body, and those types of guys, they know that.
Yeah. So once again, Bald Eagle area with a good future to come. And right now for the Bearcats, great 2017 is going to continue to roll on. They go to 7-0. Joe?
Yes, sir.
Great to be reunited on a broadcast
with you. My pleasure. It was just an absolute joy to be here this evening.
And just so you know, we do a Monday night sports talk on the Air Network. You guys are invited to join that. In fact, the more the merrier. It'd be great to have you.
So we do 7 o'clock on Monday night. So if you want to do that, we're on Skype. I can give you the Skype stuff before you guys go.
Very nice. Thank you.
But Joe, great to be back together with you. I'd love to do some baseball again. And maybe with this Bearcat baseball team in the coming year, I think maybe we can try to fit a couple of those in.
Like I say, and we have a great District 4 baseball in this area. Yes, very good tradition and a lot of knowledge, a lot of good players.
Steve, good to see you because, geez, it's been a long time since you and I have had a chance to chat. I follow some of your goings on Facebook because I'm not the biggest Facebook kind of guy. I go there maybe once a week, and it's more of an annoyance to me than it is anything else. I know some friends that actually live, breathe, and almost die by Facebook, but I'm not one of those.
Well, unfortunately, it's an unnecessary tool in my profession. So,
yeah.
But thanks for letting me sit in tonight. This was a lot more positive than the time I had upstairs tonight. When you have no commercials and you look at that score, it's really tough to fill.
Yeah, the night gets long.
Yeah.
But we had also mentioned that there wasn't any quitting. They were still playing. They were still trying to get a first down. They were still trying to move the ball.
The only thing that would have made it bad was if it had been a cold, rainy night.
Yes.
The weather. First weekend in October, I'll take this anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. What's going on with you, Steve? I know Joe's an old retired fart like me. Well,
no, he's an entrepreneur. I think he's going to be franchising delicious pizza and cinnamon toast, whatever you would call that.
Dippy
pizza.
Yes,
Joe's Dippy Pizza. I think.
That's actually my son's.
Okay.
It's my son's business, and we work it as a family.
I'm spending quality time with the majority leader in the Pennsylvania State Senate on a regular basis.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That would be the health insurance and salary portion of my life.
Yeah. What all I can say to those guys at this particular time is continue to ride rain over spending that we just really don't need at this point in the state. They're just, it's a scary situation. When you look at our commitments to our state employees as far as pensions and things go, we just can't afford to be out there willy-nilly spending money on whatever program it is that you happen to be a fan of. So just passing that along.
I will share that I'll be seeing the senator again Monday evening. We're going to go on the road for 3 days next week and a lot
road trip.
in-car talk.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, that is one good time to get your point across.
And the senator
Captive
does
audience.
listen to the constituents.
Usually we get on a 3-hour trip. We usually get about 10 minutes because there's a reason I'm driving because his phone's blowing up the whole time.
Oh, yes. The wonder of that particular game. Much rather watch these young men in high school battle it out on a field of turf or grass whenever possible. By the way, the grass in Huntingdon this year is unbelievable.
I was over a few weeks ago. It's been about 3 weeks now. I was over for a junior high game, and the field was great.
It's immaculate. At this time of the year, all three of us have been around high school football for years, and you expect to see the middle of the field starting to be torn up, not because there was so much grass there to begin with. It has some to give. And, the kind of summer that we had, grass just grew like crazy.
Well, Dave, I've been affiliated with baseball for a long, long time, and some of the years like this year, you find some of your baseball fields are in better condition now this time of the year than they are during the the transition from winter to early spring.
Yeah,
so I'd like to see that. I'll have to make a trip over there to see that football field.
That's a great old venue.
That's fields with the nicer fields in District 6 and in the Mountain League.
Yeah, and they keep the grass really high. I mean, you're talking about old day Wrigley Field that high.
Okay,
the 3/4-inch spikes needed for that field, not the halves.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that is going to do it for tonight. Once again, thanks to you, Joe. Thanks, Steve, for dropping by. Great to see you.
This was a lot of fun.
All right.
Great to be here. Thanks.
And hopefully these guys can join us then on Monday night for Monday Night Sports Talk. I'll get them set up, and they'll hopefully be able to join us then.
And good luck to those Bearcats, because that was pleasure watching that football game tonight.
45-0 win for the Bearcats tonight over the Bald Eagle area Eagles, spoiling homecoming for the Eagles here at Wingate, but nonetheless continuing down that road, going to 7-0 and on their way to the postseason, and it just keeps making that Central game look bigger and bigger on that schedule. And we'll have it here for you on the airnetwork.net. Once again, that's going to do it for tonight. For Joe Pillett, Chad States, and Steve Miller, I'm Dave Shannon in Wingate saying good night, everybody, on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. See you next week, 6:45 pregame and 7 o'clock kickoff right here.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of ensured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing, available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon.
All-American Pizza and Subs in downtown Huntingdon at 612 Washington Street is the home of the new Bearcat Sub. Enjoy mozzarella cheese with bacon, crispy chicken, sour cream and chive fries, and our top-selling wing flavor, Mactown Gold, all wrapped on a fresh homemade roll. Try the Bearcat plus our many other great pizzas and subs at All-American Pizza and Subs. Don't forget their new Pepsi flavor shots, too. All-American Pizza and Subs will donate $1 for every pizza sold during October, with proceeds going toward breast cancer research. Call 643-0222 for delivery. Open till 9, closed Mondays.
Thanks for listening to Bearcat Football on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Tonight's game presented by Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223, the heart of the community, and by D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family. Tonight's game also brought to you by Simone Family Chiropractic at 613 Washington Street in downtown Huntingdon. Penswoods.net, the home of free classified ads. And by Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntingdon. Join us for rebroadcast of tonight's game throughout the week here on the Air Network and 94.1 FM. Get set for more live Bearcat action all season long, exclusively on the home of the Huntingdon Bearcats. This is the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.